Welcome everyone. Welcome. So today, we're going to be doing a live Q&A stream. We're going to give it a few minutes here, let people start to kind of flood in, and yeah, probably chat for the next 5-10 minutes. And as we get more people flowing in who've asked some questions or who want to continue asking questions in the chat while we stream, yeah, I mean, we're just going to kind of wait it out for a little bit. Let me go ahead and plug this stream in our Discord server so the people know. All right. I'm going to be the guy that pings at everyone. Oh, wait. All right. There we go. Wow. Watching this on my Nihongo account. Welcome, Michael. Maikeru. Welcome to the stream. Go to my studio. It looks like streaming 現在のビットレート対応 streaming のビットレート Alright, let me just double check my streaming quality here, make sure it's looking okay for you guys. Oh, streams current. Oh, well, actually, it's okay. You know, I mean, this stream's not in Japanese. I don't want to go ahead and put the whole stream in Japanese for you guys, unless you want immersion. Maybe we can do an immersion stream where we all just speak Japanese to each other in the chat and from me. That might be fun, actually. You've just given me a really good idea. Thanks, Michael. All right, stream's current bitrate is lower than recommended. I'm gonna be honest, guys. I've never streamed on YouTube before, so if this looks good, then great. Open widget. All right, I mean, it says the stream looks good. Let me go check on my phone real quick, and we will give it a couple more minutes to see if we get some more question askers in the chat. I'm gonna go. I'm not a. Is it narcissist? I'm not a narcissist, but I am pulling the stream up on my phone just to make sure we're looking good. That looks good, right? Yeah, I think that's fine. Yeah, but hello. Welcome. You've only streamed on Twitch. I've heard you can also stream to YouTube Shorts. I've seen that too. People are like streaming from their phones. Hey, I'm about to hit a Core 2K 6K deck on Anki and listen to podcasts when I'm not doing that. Any other suggestions? Well, that's a really good approach. I haven't started the Q&A section yet, at least going through Discord, but I guess while you're here asking, I'd be happy to answer. So I actually did a Core 3K. I guess I should say I did 3K out of the Core 2 6K. And yeah, that was good for me. I think that when you're listening to podcasts, optimally, you've probably heard the term comprehensible input go around a lot. So essentially, you want to make sure that the podcast you're listening to isn't like 90% gibberish, right? So let's say that you get maybe 2 to 3K words into that deck. You should be listening to, I would say, easy. I say this easy. It's still a really great achievement that you're able to, listen to any Japanese podcast at all, right? I would say listen to those easier Japanese podcasts. One that I listen to is, I think it's Yuyu no Nihongo Podcasto is what they say. So he lives in Mexico, and they talk about their days, their daily lives. They bring in people to chat, like Japanese people studying abroad in Mexico. So if you just Google it and just look up like, easy Japanese podcasts, I'd start off with those, because then that's going to refresh those vocabularies that you've been picking up in those 2K, 6K Anki decks and reinforce it. And as you go more and more, you're going to be able to pretty much get into more complex podcasts and more suit your interests. Someone who's a beginner, a few months ago, I really liked the Kaishi 1.5 Anki deck. That one, I haven't done it personally, but I have a good amount of friends who like to do some Japanese studies. They've recommended the Kaishi decks are really good. You can understand like 60-70% of what you're hearing on real Japanese with Miku and Teppei's. Well, that's really good. That's solid. Yeah, I would say anything above the 70% mark is pretty good for comprehension in terms of like consuming content. Personally, I think if you could push it up to 85, 90, like that's when it becomes like you're just chilling, you're just having fun, enjoying Japanese, and like the rest is just comprehensible input, and you're just picking up words from context. That music's a little loud. I'm gonna turn that down. All right, sweet. Well, I gotta say, we got a good amount of viewers in here, and I don't want to keep you guys waiting any longer. So how about this? We've got 60 seconds till it is 5 past. Wherever you are in the world, good morning, good night, good evening. We will start the Q&A section here in like 40 seconds. Yo. First of all, welcome to the chat, everyone. So we got Albert, Ellisper, Michael, Cooldown, everyone else who hasn't commented down in chat yet. Welcome, guys. Welcome. So, yeah. Shout out to Cooldown, by the way. I was doing a poll on what kind of stream I should kick it off with, because I want to interact more with the community, and he put out, hey, you should do a Q&A first, kick it off, and then maybe funnel into like more play with me, study with me. Hi Karen, nice to see you in the chat. Welcome, welcome. Hope you're doing well. Your mic's a little distorted. Yeah, let me turn it down. Thank you for the heads up. I think I'm talking a little too loud. I'm a little too excited to see you guys, I'm sorry. Let's point the mic at my face, but also I'll sit away. Let me know if that's better, if that's worse. I can tweak it. I've got this whole arm. Too quiet now? Okay. We've got to find the perfect balance. I think, all right, this is probably good. I'm going to assume this is good. If it's not good, you guys can tell me, and I will start crying. I'm just kidding. All right. Well, it is about that time, fellas. So, really quick before we go through the Discord chat, where I got the questions, still a bit quiet, bump it up a tiny bit. All right. There we go. All right, we're gonna keep it there. Thank you, Albert. Appreciate it. It's good. Thank you, Brooke. All right, let's go through chat and look and see what questions do we have. All right, so we talk to Elspur. How would you wish to learn Japanese if you were starting again? That's a really good question. That is probably one of the most common questions you'll see out there about Japanese, and everyone has their own answers. So just to give it of context, I actually started Japanese 6 years ago in high school. So luckily somehow, I had Japanese classes at my high school in Texas, which is like crazy. I would never have expected that. So I just signed up on a whim. We started with these textbooks called Genki 1 and 2. You're probably familiar with those. And that was good. I would say, honestly, Genki 1 was so worth it, in my opinion, because it helped me reinforce how to read hiragana and katakana. And it also helped me get a good, solid foundation of some conjugations. And then I did Genki 2, and the words got rarer and rarer. So maybe you've seen one of my other videos, Chikyou Ondanka, which means global warming. Like, that was in there. There was some other more obscure words that you wouldn't, like, really do. I think chiri, like geography. I was like, why is this in here? I couldn't even form sentences at that point. So yeah, that was weird. But yeah, I'm getting on a tangent. But after that, I went off. I didn't study. I actually got to study abroad in Japan, and yeah, I had a host family, and I couldn't speak any Japanese. I could just say "Kore wa pen desu." This is a pen, and like "Toire wa doko desu ka?" Where's the toilet? And yeah, so it was really frustrating. So at that point, I came back, and then I went to college, and I immersed for a little bit. I tried this whole AJATT thing, and I burnt out because I was like seeing these videos of people like get fluent fast. I immersed for 12 hours a day, and I burnt out. Then I took some college classes. I did Tobira. Oh my God, Tobira, Gateway to Advanced is another textbook, and yeah, that was something. And that was kind of my study journey. From then on, I actually got more into AJATT, did more research on how to immerse properly without burning yourself out, so studying in a healthy way. I also did RTK for Kanji. So here's how I would honestly study Japanese again if I started out. I would recommend learning hiragana and katakana. That would probably be my go-to. So getting those two alphabets down, you can get them down. When I say down, I mean you're able to read them while you're still kind of reviewing on your backlog, whether that's through Anki or Quizlet. Because once you do that, you can just start doing your flashcards in hiragana and katakana. And so like it's like you don't have to study anymore because you're like your flashcards you'll be constantly reviewing and reviewing. So yeah, once you get that down, I would say you get the alphabets down. Read a quick grammar guide, literally like some Tai Kim's guide to Japanese grammar, and just scroll through that. And as you do that, you'll kind of get a general idea of like te form and like saying please and conjugating stuff and the different tenses. And then I would say after you do so far, hiragana, katakana, quick grammar guide, do a core. Someone mentioned in here core 2K, 6K. And also core 1K is even an option, and start doing those. And when those are like, if anyone is not familiar, which is fine, core, like let's just say core 3K, that's the 3,000 most common words in the Japanese language. So if you learn those, like those are the most bang for your buck. And after you've learned the most 3,000 common Japanese words, you can start watching some easy slice of life anime and comprehend like over 80% of them. So it's pretty nice, and you can start learning more words in context. And that's how I would do it, because like from that point on, you're just going to be consuming more and more content and saving words and making flashcards from real native Japanese content. So basically at that point, you're just going to watch, read, and enjoy stuff, and your vocabulary is going to grow eventually, and you'll learn how to use the words. You also went, okay, sorry, I went on a tangent there, but let's see. Only had Spanish. Yeah, I feel that. That was at my middle school. That's when I wanted to study Japanese the most. Let's see. High school had Spanish, French, and German. That's more than one. But yeah. Canada, we only had French, and that's it. Always of Japanese. I'm starting to learn on your own. That's really good, though. That's impressive. I actually went to Canada once in Banff. Over in Calgary, or near Calgary, and there were Japanese people there. Like I was climbing a mountain and I just heard people speaking Japanese, and it was like, yeah, I just turned around and just started talking. It was the weirdest thing. So I mean, that's good. That's good. You'll have some people to interact with there. I feel like you should review Jidou Disho. I've actually never heard of that. What is that? Hello, Jared. Hi, is it Yep? How long did it take you to learn RGK before learning vocabulary, or did you do both? I actually started RGK last year, so kind of late into my Japanese studies. So I learned a lot of vocabulary first, and at this point I could understand a lot of pretty easy anime, slice of life, rom-com stuff. Probably understand 80 to 90% of it. But with reading, oh my gosh, it was so bad. So yeah, I will link I think I've linked a Reddit thread in my Discord, and I'll link one here eventually, but I just made a physical box of flashcards for RTK. That probably took me around 6 months. I was just doing 20 cards a day, just writing the kanji on the flashcards and going through. And at some point, because of habit and less studying. That is true. Yeah, if you just give it a little bit of time every day and not really set a number also, I find that's helpful. Some people are like, yeah, I have to study 10 hours of Japanese a day. I have to, because that's 3,650 hours a year. And that's awesome. And it's like, you're going to just stress yourself out, man. Been studying for 4 months, and katakana still trips me up. Dude, I've been studying for 6 years, and it still trips me up. You're so fine. Don't worry about it. What do you think about Duolingo? I think it's really helpful for learning the alphabets and getting used to like the sounds in Japanese. But beyond that, the sentences that they have you make are really, and you've probably seen memes and YouTube shorts about this, the sentences they have you put together are like so random and so awkward. Like, I feel like one would just be like, oh, I gave my pet cobra a bath in the shower when it was cloudy outside. When would you ever say that? I don't know. Okay, so I can see the questions have slowed down a bit in the chat, but I really appreciate everyone being here. So let's go ahead and go down to our Shitsumon Kouna, or Q&A channel. And we're just going to scroll through some of the questions that people in the community have had and see what they said. All right, Warrior X16. I do Anki every single day. I'm at 3,500 words learned total. However, I can't really form sentences because I haven't done grammar study. I know Immersion would help, and I do find time to watch videos with Migaku. And I feel like I can understand what they're saying in these easy-ish videos, especially with seeing the Japanese subs and being able to pause. But I need to do some direct grammar study. I also have a paid version of Satori Reader, which is a graded reader. I've heard that's pretty good, which does have a grammar series. What would you say is the single best way that I can study grammar so that I'll know conjugation and other simple grammar rules to be able to form sentences for my Japan trip 3 months from now? I think that I should probably just read through the entire grammar series in Satori Reader and immerse more, but I need to optimize my time since I already have to do Anki each day, which could be hard, and the trip is our honeymoon, so we're busy with wedding planning. I'd just like to hear your suggestions, even if the answer is just immerse, bro. Oh my gosh, just immerse, bro. That is said 1,000 times over in the immersion community. I'm sure everyone here, or at least most of you guys, have probably heard that advice. Back in high school when I took Spanish classes, I always felt like we had such handy conjugation charts and that there weren't too many conjugations to worry about. But with Japanese, it feels like it's not that straightforward. Is that a reasonable thought, or is it simpler than I think? Maybe I'm more of a visual learner, so something like that, which I can have and reference often, would be helpful. All right. That is a pretty solid question. I would say that if you're worried about forming sentences because you're worried about grammar study, in that point, I feel like if you're doing Anki, a lot of people have this habit, and me myself, I'm not saying that Warrior X6 Senior has it, but I've had this habit myself, where I see the word in my flashcard in my Anki window, and that's it. I can see like the context of it being an Anki. I'm like, oh, I know this word, and I just keep clicking. I don't actually look at the sentence and like think about it and like ask myself, what is the Kettle, the but, that means a but in Japanese. What is the Kettle doing in this sentence? Or like, what is it affecting? Why does this sentence actually mean this in English? Right? So that's something. I used to do my reps in Anki just to do them. I think someone commented recently, becoming an Anki droid, like literally just doing cards to do them. So that's one thing. Really think about the sentences, and keep, this is going to be a more high level of just immerse, bro, but keep watching those easy-ish Japanese content that you're looking at, but don't fall into the trap where you just watch easy stuff because it's comfortable. If you don't make the effort to push yourself a little bit out of your comfort zone, you're not going to progress as well. So for example, for me, I watched Komi-san Can't Communicate, and I can pretty much sit through that show and enjoy it in Japanese fully. But I've been really wanting to watch Psychopaths, and also Meitante Conan, Detective Conan. So those are, like, Conan's probably more of a kid's show, but it has some really specialized vocabulary, and Psychopaths is just like, oh my god, that one's crazy. So, like, I want to watch those. I'm going to legitimately enjoy it. There's going to be more complex vocabulary. So I think it's something that's more worth it. So I would say that the best way that you can study grammar and understand conjugation and simple grammar rules, do a quick read through of Ty's like a grammar guide, like Ty Kim's grammar, and yeah, literally just keep immersing. But make sure you're choosing content that you find interesting and is still like a bit outside of your comfort zone. The only way you're gonna get better at Japanese is by watching harder and harder content, but still matching your level of improvement. JPDB is a really good website if you want to kind of go and look up like how hard an anime or manga or visual novel is. So that would be my kind of go-to recommendation. I wouldn't worry about conjugations explicitly. If you do want to speak, then I would study them explicitly just for this trip so that you can kind of say them there. But long term, I mean, they're just going to come to you, really, if you do consume enough Japanese material. Reading is definitely going to help you progress the fastest. All right, I'm going to answer a few more questions from the Discord, and I will go through chat here in just a second. So apologies for the wait here. Only question I have is, where does one read news articles? Does anyone actually immerse in news articles like I have heard? Okay, so there's some good places. NHK News Web Easy is a really good website, especially if your Japanese is, and please forgive me, I'm going to use JLPT levels here. If your JLPT levels around N4 to N3, or even N5, if you're getting into that N4 territory around there, it's really good to study from. You can learn a lot of words. If you've done... I'm trying to think here. If you've done like the Genki 1 and 2 textbooks, for example, like you'd probably be pretty fine with reading NHK News Web's Easy. For context, it's a website that is geared more towards Japanese middle schoolers and elementary schoolers. It takes news articles and makes them using more, I guess, simple, yasashi Japanese. It's also geared towards foreigners, of course. So I recommend that. It is really good. And then also just NHK News, like the full-blown adult version. I need to immerse with that a bit more, but I can't really piece together much. There's just a lot of stuff on there about tariffs and whatnot, so I won't get too political. What is your favorite kanji? I like the kanji for nagi. Let me see if I can pull up a picture of it here. Let's see. Nagi. Naki, not Naki. Nagi. Okay. It means like calm or lull. It kind of refers to like ocean. Oh, there's a picture of a blue lock player. Okay, that's a little awkward. All right, I'll just show the kanji here. Yeah, it's really just the stop radical inside of this 3 strokes. I actually don't know what exactly to call this, but hikaru nagi. I'm pretty sure you didn't mean Nagi himself. Nagi's not a kanji. No, I literally looked up Nagi here. You can see he's just here everywhere. I haven't watched your red blue lock, so I'm really sorry for my blue lock fans in the chat. My deepest apologies. All right, let's pivot over to the chat here, and let's see what my lovely viewers here have to say. All right, let's go look at the chat. Okay. Headphones are back. Yes. I've seen your comments. I know how much you love my headphones. All right, let's go look through here a little bit. Hey. What's up, Sazoku? Cool name. Your story is similar to mine. A Japanese class in high school went on from there. Yeah, I was really fortunate on that end. Jisho is an Android app with full-featured immersion language learning. That is sick. I need to get myself an Android device. I'm unfortunately in the Apple economy. Got the Apple Watch, the Apple phone. I've even got AirPods. I'm slowly switching over, starting with the headphones, of course. These are Bose. I will check out the repo for sure. Hi, everyone. Hey, V2 Power. Yeah, katakana is a pain in the booty. What's your motivation to keep learning? That's a really great question. I think for me, initially, my motivation was to, like maybe a lot of people, just like watch anime and like just without subtitles. I thought that'd be the coolest thing. But what really kicked off that motivation is when I went to Japan for my first study abroad, and I went up to Tohoku. I went to a city called Morioka. And that is like in the inaka, the countryside, if you will. Now, while I was here, they didn't speak any English. They had a daughter who spoke some English, which helped, but they didn't speak any English, and I didn't speak any Japanese, and that was like so frustrating because they had this whole itinerary planned out. We're going out and doing fun stuff, and all I could say is like arigato, like over and over and over again, and just like we couldn't talk about how fun our times were together. There were both things we wanted to say, but I just couldn't put it into words. And that was really upsetting for me. So that kind of motivated me when I got back to hit the books. I guess I'd say hit the videos, hit the novels, hit the, all the immersion content. So yeah, that's kind of what motivated me. And then what kind of helped further that was I worked at a Japanese grocery store for a bit. I don't know if he's in chat here or they, but I have a couple of friends, coworkers. They're also in the community. But yeah, so I got to talk to some Japanese coworkers, which helped. Then I saved up enough money to go back to see that own host family outside of the program. And oh my gosh, I could speak Japanese. Like not fluently, but like everyday Japanese. And the smile on their faces, I won't forget, like, and my face, it felt so good to like, I was talking to these people. I'd never talked to them, like actually talked to them. It felt so good. And that trip I made more Japanese friends and more people, and they were legitimately, more than happy to have like conversations with me in Japanese. I feel like I got a lot of good connections out of it. And so that's really helped me. It's really cool to just kind of see how perspectives could change and how many like awesome friends you can make abroad just by interacting and using the language. So yeah, it's a really good feeling because it really, all those hours just sitting at your computer on your phone learning Japanese, when it translates to just like being there in front of people, talking to them and like making friends. Oh my God, it's so worth it for me. So that's kind of what's kept me motivated. I'm a high schooler. Do you have any advice to get into a Japanese university? Okay. I'm not sure what country you are in high school at. I don't think it truly matters too much. I would say just keep studying Japanese. Secure a N2 certificate at some point. I mean, I don't think it's necessary, but it really helps with scholarships and getting into that. One of my friends, Nico, he's a 7-stop. You may have watched some of his videos. He's another person in the immersion community. He covers this. I would go check out his channel. He has a good interview about this, but yeah, I would say if you get that business certification, start studying more Japanese, talk to people locally. There's usually language meetups with real Japanese people, like in most cities around town. It's what I did when I was back in Texas. And you'd be surprised what connections you can make. There are actually a lot of American people, for me, who were basically fluent in Japanese or near native, and they had jobs at Japanese companies, and I made friends who worked there, and they're like, hey, let me know, if you're interested in working in Japan, I can set you up with an interview. So really just finding some Japanese communities and making your Japanese, more developed in a business sense, I guess. That would be my advice. And also do a bit more research into companies you might like. Reach out to them, interact. There's also, where is it? In Massachusetts, I think around November, they do a Japanese collaboration with America, and they have all these Japanese people and Japanese companies fly down and do like a work convention, and you can do like interviews there or like panels. So I would recommend that if you're going to kind of do like the job hunting over in Massachusetts in November. So just something to keep in mind. And yeah, so that's my advice. Get N2 certificate, improve your Japanese, make Japanese friends, and go to the convention in November in Massachusetts. I would look more into that. There's also one in Japan. I mean, there's a lot of ones. I think it's at the same place they have Komaket. But yeah, I hope that answers your question. Let's see. Here in Brazil, we have something called, the MEXT. It's a really good scholarship. I know, what was it? Phantom Menace. I think he got on that. Someone got on that. That's a really good one. You guys probably know more. I believe V2 Power here would probably know a lot more about that than me. So if you guys feel free to message each other. All right, let us keep going. What do you think about? Actually, let's see. Nihongo versus Taikim's Guide. If one wants to reach N5 for now, at least. I haven't actually used Minnan Nihongo, so I can't speak to that. But I skimmed through Taikim before I took the N5. Well, I guess I didn't really take it. I took a mock exam for it. I kind of took a mock for N5, N4, N3, and then I took the N2 for real. And I thought it covered it pretty well. But if you want a more comprehensive resource, so you're not willing to kind of like take something from over here and like go look at videos over here, then I feel like a textbook such as Minnan no Nihongo or even Genki 1 and 2 would help. Genki 1 and 2 is going to put you a little bit past the N4 mark, actually. So whichever way you want to swing. All right. Sorry, I'm trying to align on this chat here. It's so vertical. Conan has a very goat future. Yeah, I love Conan. I love Conan. It's really great. Okay. Sakura's JRPG is a really good resource for reading. Really? Okay. What do you think about intensive reading? I think intensive reading is great. It's also very mentally taxing. I used to do it for like 2 hours a day, and it was... Ooh, like I could feel the improvement, but oh my goodness. You could also feel the burnout. Warrior 16, welcome. Just joined from the beginning. Daniel, hi. So yeah, I would say, honestly, it's worth it. It's where you're going to make the most progress. But also, although all those intensive lookups can break your sort of reading flow. So if you want to get more reading done, like a higher volume, I recommend just going with the flow. If you choose reading content that you can comprehend 90+% of, you're going to be doing less of those lookups, and you'll understand more of the words just through context. Like, let's just say that I said, this is blue, right? So you didn't understand one word in that sentence, but it's probably controller, right? So, I mean, that's just another thing. If you comprehend enough of a piece of content, you're probably going to be able to infer most of the words without looking them up explicitly. So do intensive reading on content you can comprehend a good amount of, and do non-intensive reading on content that you may not understand as much of, but you're okay with kind of forgoing some of those lookups. All right. Do you recommend anything to help with kanji recognition? Anki deck. Honestly, RTK, remembering the kanji, is really good by Heisik. If it's easier for you or you don't want to get that intensive with it, I recommend RRTK, which is recognizing, remembering the kanji. So instead of writing out the kanji, you're just looking at it and being like, yes, this means stop, or this means bird, and then going on with your day. That also totally works. All right. あなたの日本語は何レベルですか?何レベル? I've passed the JLPTN2, which I don't know how accurate that is. I would take that with a grain of salt. But I did study in Japan, and I lived there for 3 months, and I had like daily conversations, and I was able to function there pretty normally, so I don't know. Not fluent, but I can yap. Let's just say yapping level. I think that's pretty safe to say. Okay. Let's see. Just here to thank you for the word of the day, Shorts. Appreciate it, mate. No problem, Snorks Royal. Thanks for coming in and letting me know. Okay. Let's answer a few more questions in chat here, and I'll go back over to the Discord. How would you recommend someone to learn Japanese if they have a lot of other things to balance? For instance, other languages they want to learn too, work, etc. That question is so good. Oh my gosh. All right, listen. I work a cybersecurity job full-time. I upload daily shorts. I do community posts. I talk in the Discord. I edit videos, long form every week. And I still got to study Japanese on top of that. Because if I don't get good at Japanese, what's the point of my channel? I don't want to trick you guys and have me be mediocre Japanese and teaching you how I got fluent in Japanese when I'm not even half fluent, right? So, I would really say make it a habit. If you find a gap in your day, for me, for example, I will drive 5 minutes to go to Costco offsite at work for an hour, and I'll whip out my laptop, put on the headphones, and just watch YouTube videos and using Migaku. And then I'll get home, and I'll put on maybe 1 or 2 episodes of anime that are pretty easy for me to understand, so I'm still getting that immersion in. And I'll, maybe if I'm feeling like it, read 1 or 2 news articles or like 10 pages of a book. Yeah, and anything that I find from there, I'll maybe mine 5 to 10 words and save it to Anki, or I guess in this case Migaku, and do flashcards. So essentially, it's find the gaps in your day where you're doom scrolling or maybe being distracted or not productive, and use that time to study, even if it's just for 30 minutes to an hour a day. And then the rest of the time, prioritize your health. Don't overdo it. Make sure you're hanging out with your friends and relaxing, because that's also super duper important. You don't want to burn yourself out. You don't want Japanese to be the reason that you think, my life is so hard. This language ruined everything for me. I'm never coming back to study it. Because it's a beautiful language. It's a fun study process. You're probably sponsored by Migaku or something, but what do you think of Anamelon? I am sponsored by / I am affiliate of Migaku, but I only accepted it because I think it's a great product. I can see it blowing up, and it is something I legitimately love and use every day. Anamelon's great, actually. I think actually, yeah, I asked someone who works at Migaku that it should work with Anamelon. So, just letting you know. But yeah, I actually use Anamelon a lot. There were like jump scares where it almost went down because of copyright strikes, and it was just taking forever to load. And I was like, please, don't be crashed, don't be down. But yeah, so yeah, I would honestly say really good resource. For anyone who's not familiar, Anamelon is just a database of anime, and you can watch the videos on there. Like some other sites I won't get into because they're illegal, but they have full English subs, Japanese subs. You can turn on Romaji, Kanji, Hiragana, Furigana, and just watch. And you can like kind of toggle any combination of them, whatever suits your studies. And you can click on the words, and it'll tell you the meanings. So it has like on website supported lookups. So it's really good. I'd highly recommend it if you're not too savvy or wanting to set up all these tools. It's a really good website for that. Okay, let's see. Is this vlog going to stay up after the stream? Yes, it is. And I'm actually probably going to edit it down to a more compressed version for next week. So if you guys don't want to go back and comb through this, I'll leave the juicy questions in here. Skim through a guy called Sakubi. I've heard of Sakubi. That is a good one. I just found that a few weeks ago. It looks so clean. How is your journey learning transitive and intransitive verbs? In addition to using wo and ga, some verbs are very similar. Having the same problem with kaimasu and kaemasu. Yeah. Okay, this will be the last question before I switch back to Discord and then back to you guys. So transitive and intransitive verbs. The first time I encountered those was in my high school class in a textbook. And that was fun. Like ugoku to move and ugokasu like to. Well, it's weird. Ugoku is to move, but then ugokasu is to move something. Oh my gosh. Yeah, I'm already like, I can't really explicitly explain it, but my experience with it was like, what the heck? Why does this exist? Even though it exists in English, but instead of saying to move, we say to be moved. Instead of saying to eat, we say to be eaten. It's that easy. But dude, oh my gosh. Yeah, so what I did is I honestly just like explicitly studied that table that's in like Genki 2 in one of the earlier chapters, and that was it. Then eventually when I came back and started immersing, like I was able to recognize like, oh, this verb is just this transitive verb, but it's like, it sounds different. This must be the intransitive verb. And like if you see a video of like someone pushing something versus an object getting pushed, like just looking at the subtitles and the characters on screen, for example, like you're kind of able to pick up on what they're trying to say, and like your ears pick up the sound of, oh, that verb is conjugated differently. This must be the intransitive version. So that was kind of my experience. Explicit study for a little bit, and then moving on to immersing and seeing it using context. So now most verbs that I see for the first time, I'll pretty much know like how it would be said for intransitive and how it would be used. But yeah. And wonga, well, I know that, so it's interesting. I actually made a mistake in one of my recent YouTube shorts where I was like, uchi no neko no shippo o yureteru, which means I shook my cat's tail. So shippo o yureru. So like, that's to shake a tail. If I use wo, because shippo is tail, yureru is to shake. But if I said shippo ga yureru, the tail is shaking. So wo is usually like, it means you're affecting the thing that comes before it, and ga is just saying like the thing before the ga is doing the action after. Like that's really, and that's not even 100% accurate. That's just kind of generally how it works. So yeah, and then kaimasu and kaemasu. So you have to train your ears a little bit, and also the context, right? So like, cause kaimasu means like basically I'm gonna buy, and kaemasu is like I can buy. So I guess if you're having a conversation with your friend and they're like, oh, you're going to buy the Switch too? They might be like, kaimasu kedo. Which is like, it could be, I'm going to buy it, but I don't know. Or I could buy it, but I don't know. So with that context, it's close, but kaemasu. Not kai, but kaemasu. It's very subtle. But in that context, it might be more like, oh, I could buy it, but I don't know. So yeah, it's really, Japanese you'll notice is a high context language. All right. Cooldown gives some good advice. I'm going to go look through this, and then we'll switch back over to Discord. Piece of advice I want to give. Reading's a lot easier if you go through JPTV's vocab list while you read. It's all in order, so you can just scroll as you read. This is very true. That is exactly what I did before I switched over back to Migaku. And I only switched because I used JPTV so much that my reviews were piling up. Like, it was so gamified. So if that's your thing, I would go for it. But for me, I kind of almost loved it too much. So, yeah. What got you into Japanese? I did already answer this one earlier, which was doing stay with a host family. Couldn't speak Japanese much well, and it was very frustrating. Then I came back after studying a bit. Felt super cool to be able to talk to them. How do you deal with burnout? That's a great question. So in the past, I haven't been so good with burnout. I'll just wake up one day and loathe even like reading a Japanese character, and then I'll just stop studying. This actually happened, and I stopped studying for like 4 months, and it was painful because every day I didn't study, I knew like I wanted to. Like something inside me was like, dude, you gotta study. What are you doing? And I just, you know, well, also let me go on Do Not Disturb. Yeah, and it just felt so painful because one half of me was like, dude, you gotta study. You're not improving. You're actually getting like worse. Every day you're not studying. You're like losing progress. And the other half was like, I hate Japanese. I am so burned out. I'm so tired of this. So I've gotten a bit better of picking out what burns me out, how do I feel right before I burn out? Like, what are the signs? So I think for me, it's if I go to bed at like 11 at night. If I'm staying up till 12 or 12:30 doing Anki cards and I'm like actually not having a good time, I'll just put the phone down and go to bed. Or even before that even happens, I will look at how my reviews are building up or how many words I'm adding a day and think, am I overdoing it? And am I chasing a number? A lot of people are like saying, oh, let's study 1,000 Japanese cards. Let's increase your vocabulary by 3,000 words per month. That's 100 words a day. And I don't want to be a Debbie Downer, but that's just not realistic in my opinion. So I would have these sort of splurges of energy where I would do that. I would do 100 cards in one day, and I do 100 cards the next day. And maybe even the third day, I would do 100 new words. And then the fourth day would come by, and I'd have 800 cards waiting for me in Anki. Yeah. So really just catch yourself. Are you chasing some number, or are you just free-flowing and enjoying Japanese content the way you want to? I think that's super important. Do you do Anki every day? I do Migaku every day now. But yes, I try to add around, I won't say try. I usually have been adding around 10 new words a day. I'll watch around 2 or 3 hours of, right now it's just gaming channels on YouTube. One's called Sanninsho. So I've been watching them play through Until Dawn in Japanese, which has been pretty cool. But I do that every day. What was the hardest part of learning Japanese? Ooh, this is a juicy one. The hardest part of learning Japanese, in my opinion... Oh my goodness. I gotta think about that one. I think it would be... Probably... I'm gonna say 2 here. I'm cheating, but kanji and pitch accent. So kanji is actually not that hard once you figure out the radicals and how they're pieced together and how you can kind of gather a meaning from them. But it took me the longest time to figure that out. And I mean, yeah, because there's like a kokai means to regret, but kokai, and that's also pitch accent, can also mean to upload or publicize something, like a video, for example, right? So when I say like doga o kokai suru is to upload a video, or doga no kokai o kokai suru is to regret the uploading of a video, right? You can see where that's confusing. The kanji for those are completely different, by the way, and that is something I couldn't get over. Also the different readings for kanji. So like iku, if the ku after iku for ikimasu to go is u, it's actually read as okonao, and it means to carry out something. Or hiraku to open. If you actually put an o before it and say ohiraki, it means to close out or like end a wedding or a banquet or a ceremony. Dude, what the heck, right? So there's that, and also just the pitch accent. Getting used to words such hashi and hashi, or like ame and ame, or like learning like heiban, where I say kore wa hana desu instead of hana desu, hana desu, or I might even be getting that wrong right now. So yeah, pitch accent and kanji probably. This is a question I got from a member. They want to say anonymous. I think I'm switching to Monilingual on Anki. What do you recommend for this transition? So, if you go to Moe's website, they have a good resource, and I'll actually put it in my Discord after the stream, but they have a good resource of monolingual dictionaries that I highly recommend. And once you've learned around 3,000 words from the core K-Dex, just like the 3,000 most common Japanese words, you'll be able to go through those definitions, the monolingual definitions in Japanese, and understand pretty much most of it. You may have to look up a couple words here and there, but after a little while, you'll be able to look at all your definitions in Japanese, which is pretty solid. And another question, I really want to start... actually, so just, let's see. I really want to start so I can stop translating in my head, but I'm worried it could end up taking too long, and I spend too much time on Anki instead of immersing. Well, buddy, reading dictionary definitions is immersing. So, you're good. You're still in Anki, but you're also immersing because you're looking at dictionary definitions. What do you normally do if you don't know everything in the Japanese definition? Oh, perfect. Yeah, mine it. Or look up another word. Look up another example sentence online. Like Reyo, I think, an immersion kit. You can look up other sentences that contain that word. All right, let's go back to the YouTube chat. I want to give you guys some attention. All right, how to go from N3 to N2? Great question. So I actually failed the N2 twice and passed it on my third try. So What I really did there was reading more. So what I would recommend doing is if you're at N3 right now, I'm gonna assume you have. Sorry about that. I'm gonna assume that you have a certification, or if you don't, that you've taken practice exams and passed them pretty well. Try to take an N2 mock exam, like the full thing. Even with time. Time yourself and stop yourself whenever you reach the time and see what your weak points are. I didn't do this, but I failed the JLPT N2 twice, so I knew where my weak points were, which, spoiler alert, it was reading. My listening was actually good because I love anime. I love watching dramas. You've probably seen in my videos how much I pushed like Kodoku no Gurame, like Solitary Gourmet. Like, oh my gosh. So my listening was really good, but my reading was weak. So I spent the next year reading. I think I read 2 novels. Well, I wouldn't say, I tried to read 2 novels. I actually read them after I passed the N2, but I was reading a lot of web novels and doing some visual novels, and also just watching a lot of anime with subtitles. And sometimes I would mute the anime and just use the visuals and the Japanese subtitles as my only sources of immersion. So I think that really helped boost my reading comprehension as well as my vocabulary. And then I did some like explicit studying through Nihongo no Mori. They're a really good resource. So Nihongo no Mori, so like Japanese forest of Japanese, but their N2 prep videos are all in Japanese, so it's still kind of immersion. It's geared towards foreigners, so it's not like catered to natives, but it's explained in like N3 or like low N2 level Japanese, which is pretty nice. So yeah, and then just like did 2 or 3 mock practice exams before the my 3rd try on the N2, and that went pretty well. So that would be my recommendation. All right, let's see down here. How was your journey learning? Okay, I did answer that one. Sorry, Zika. I know I skipped over your question there then. All right. Michael. Yeah, you mostly do intensive through 4 volumes. Now I'm on a ReZero. I can read like 7K multi per hour. Oh my gosh. Wow. Good for you. That is actually freaking impressive. I'm just starting to learn Japanese, and when I come across similar words like kakureru and hisomu, my brain just went blank. Both mean hiding, but how to differentiate them. Yeah. Gosh, and I would also say, just for those examples, kakureru is probably to actually hide, and hisomu is more like of a lurking. Maybe someone with better Japanese can clarify here, but hisomu is more like a lurking kind of vibe. You'll notice me using the word vibe. It's because I have seen these words in their own context through watching anime and reading books. And seeing them used, and like I've seen these words probably, kakureru probably more, probably like maybe 20 to 30 times, and hisomu maybe, that one's a bit more rare, so maybe like 6 or 7 times. But just seeing it in 3 to 4 different contexts helps you kind of get an idea for like what the general meanings of those words are and the nuances. So that's how I would differentiate those 2 words specifically, if that's what you're asking. And if you want to kind of take care of more cases like that in general, just immerse, bro. No, but seriously, yeah, I would honestly just find more content you enjoy, or even look up, like I said, example sentences that have those words in them. You don't even have to save them. Like, literally just look them up and read through a little bit and be like, oh, okay, yeah, hisomu does give off that vibe of like someone lurking around, which is kakureru is just someone just hiding, like actively hiding behind a wall or around the corner, not really kind of tiptoeing around, right? Hey Jared, how was your day? Wow, I did not expect to get asked that question. It was good. Did a lot of tickets at work because I'm in IT, so that was fun. Making that money, not that much money, but we're here, we're alive. We barely made rent, so. 私の日本語はいいですか? I would say 私の日本語はいいですか? I don't know if I think your Japanese is 日本語上手ですね. We'll just give you 日本語上手. I don't know what your like real level of Japanese is, but you are typing in Japanese. You're doing better than 90% of people out there. So if you can give me more context on how your study methods are going and like kind of what you're doing, I mean, I don't want to judge you. I don't think you should use me as a bookmark for how good your Japanese is. And I don't think you should use others either. As long as you're kind of improving yourself every day, that's really all you need. But I think you're on the right track. How do you finish Domestic Girlfriend? Why do you have to call me out like this, man? No, I have not. I have not. I'm sorry, Daniel. We have to watch it together. Alright, we're just going to ignore that. Sorry, there's a little troll in chat. Let's see. Watching your content, you sound really fluent. Do you have any tips or recommendations for how to improve speaking and sound more native? First of all, appreciate the compliment. Still working on that myself. But I did actually recently release a video called This Is What Makes You Sound Native in Japanese, where I cover the 3 different, I guess, increasingly nerdy levels of improving your accent. So one would be... let me actually see if I can just really quickly showcase right here. So I have something called Yomichan. You can probably do this with, you can do this with Migaku, but I have a pitch accent add-on. So this shows that it starts high. This is not live, it's live. So it means live, right? Namahoso. But yeah, so there's all sorts of add-ons. You can also just Google like pitch accent lookup. So I recommend watching videos. It doesn't have to be mine, but you can just look up videos on Japanese pitch accent, and you'll kind of figure out sort of the 4 different patterns. And you don't have to study for every word. Because come on, that's a lot of work. I think once you learn to kind of listen for it and pick up on it, that is really all you need. Because once you know that certain words start high, like kore, that's a tamadaka. Kore, you'll hear it every time. It's a very common word. As you actually hear and listen for that pitch accent, you'll be good. You'll be able to start to imitate and mock it. I also recommend shadowing. So I picked a content creator that I really like. I like his voice. He's cool. And I don't do it that often, but sometimes I'll sit down for like 5-10 minutes and repeat after him. I might even play the video in a quarter speed or loop it and just keep repeating and repeating, reading his lines, and trying to like mock the vowels, the pronunciations, the pitch accent, the pauses in the language, because Japanese isn't like one smooth Eminem rap god flow. Like there are pauses, sort of how there are in English when I want to make a point and I pause, you know. But yeah, so that would be my recommendation. This live is so useful. Thanks a lot. No problem. Is it really bad to learn anything else before you learn the entirety of hiragana and katakana? No, I don't think so. You can actually learn words using romaji or like English text, and that's totally fine. Because then what's going to happen is, like, let's just say sakana means fish, right? So if I learned it using literally S-A-K-A-N-A, that's fine. Because once I learn how to read hiragana, I'll read it and be like, oh, sakana. Oh, that means fish. I learned that when it was written with English letters. So that's totally fine. A lot of people do that. And I think that's a really good idea, actually. Kettle means but. Tada. Oh my goodness. Hold on. ただ配信入ったのでもう聞いてたらすまんけど日本語に行ったことあるそれともいくつか行く予定あるいつかないくつかいつ行く予定あるYeah, so I've been to Japan 4 times. First time was in high school for 2 weeks after winning a Japan Bowl, if anyone's familiar, competition. Or not winning, but getting like top 3. So, you know, if you're not first, you're last. But yeah, so I got to study there for, study there for a month actually. Second time I went back was the same thing, competition in high school, stayed there for 2 weeks. Then I came back into study abroad in college at Waseda. I studied for 1 month, and the rest was just goofing around Japan for 3 months. And then I recently went again last winter, and that was fun. Yeah, that was definitely more fun, because at that point my Japanese was better than it had ever been. Because that was most recent. So I was able to like rent a car, drive around Hokkaido. That was cool. And do I plan to go again? Yes. Maybe this winter, I'm thinking. And I also want to start doing some vlogs in Japan in Japanese. I've been really wanting to do some camping vlogs in Japan. I think it's something that I'd really enjoy. So yeah, if you guys think that'd be fun, I can go ahead and start getting into those. But yeah. How to stop translating Japanese to English? I heard having English in the process makes it harder. That is right, in my opinion. It's sort of what people call a buffer. So think about it like this. Let's just say I was like, Watashi wa Jared, right? I am Jared. My name's Jared. Now, if I heard that, Watashi wa Jared, like right now, I know what that means. I'm not thinking about it in English, but a lot of people, and I used to do this, would be like, I is Jared. I am Jared, right? So you can see that also forces you to sort of like piece together a sentence in a very robotic way. So there's no really easy way to get over this other than just sort of taking content that you find easy-ish and has like a lot of words that you're familiar with and words that you know really well. And I would say that as you keep growing your vocabulary, literally just sit there and try not to translate. This has really helped me, close your eyes when you hear a Japanese sentence or play it over and over again and visualize it. Think in pictures, don't think in English. And if you're still struggling to think in Japanese, don't think in Japanese, right? Like if I said, I'm just going to say this in English, but first in Japanese, like, 犬が僕の足を噛んでた, right? The dog bit my leg. So instead of translating each word, just close your eyes and try to imagine that whole sentence as like an image of a dog biting your leg. As you do this more and more, it'll kind of, your brain will be able to pop up more images with the words. You can even do the same for your Anki cards, actually. If you have like a word that's a noun, nouns are notoriously hard for nouns are known to be hard for like getting the definitions for. In terms of Japanese, they can have really long definitions, so I find having a picture really helps. But yeah, that's probably my recommendation. Hopefully that answers your question. And yeah, so yes, it doesn't take much time. It took me 3 hours for both, including reading, training, using YouTube. Also use Kettle means but. Yep. Okay. Nice advice, Sazoku. Demo and Kettle. Yeah, Kettle is used more kind of halfway through sentences. Demo, well, like both kind of are. Demo, I feel like it's more like a stronger sort of like actual but. But you can end your sentences with Kettle, and it's just sort of like add some like, I don't know, kind of atmosphere to your sentences. So let's see here. Osake demo nomo? Oh yeah, that's true actually. Yeah, like shall we drink some sake? So like demo is like shout, like how about this thing? It's weird, but these are sort of things that you'll be able to understand as you consume more and more Japanese content. Do you have advice on how to remember whether verbs are transitive or intransitive? I kind of touched on this earlier, but I just explicitly studied a chart in high school, which I don't think is how you should go about it. But I studied like a whole chart, so I kind of got a vibe for what transitive verbs do to intransitive verbs, or vice versa. So now when I hear a verb in the wild, I can kind of calculate or kind of understand how an intransitive verb is going to kind of stem off of that transitive verb, if that makes sense. So like ugoku becomes ugokasu, or like something sort of like that, I guess. Literally just ask ChatGPT. That is actually pretty good. A lot of people do use AI learning tools. And let's see here. How much is watching old J-dramas gonna hurt? Can't get enough of them, but I'm learning really outdated words, LOL. I don't know how old they are, but if you're talking about like early 2000s, I think you're fine. While a lot of those words and expressions might be outdated, it's still Japanese. So it'd be like me going back and watching shows from like the 70s. It's English. If I can understand those shows, I'll probably be fine in present day America or just present day English. But yeah, I would say that if anything, if I had to give any negative side to that, it would probably be just your output in terms of, you might say a word and Japanese people might be like, But yeah. Like bonkyubon. Apparently, I've learned that's not said very much. Bonkyubon is basically just gyat in Japanese. Apparently, it's pretty outdated. I learned that the hard way. I don't want to go into it. But yeah. Never found it hard to just find the pitch accent by hearing it. That's really good. Yeah, some people pick up pitch accent better than others, especially depending on their native languages. Did you practice listening enough? I mean, I don't know if that's towards me or to someone else in the chat. I feel like I overdid listening practice. Is that the same mic you use for your videos, by the way? For some of my videos where I'm at my desk, I actually use some portable Rode Lav mics that clip onto me, and then I have a lavalier, so I can kind of walk around while I talk. Sorry if this was asked already, but what are the thoughts on the use of ChatGPT or similar chatbots to converse back and forth with in Japanese? I think, I'm personally all for it if you can't consistently find a human language partner. But if you go on like disboard.com, I found some really good like ENXJP servers where you can just do language exchange. I've actually found like 2 or 3 Japanese friends now that I just call on Discord every week or every few weeks. and we'll talk in English for a little bit, and then we'll talk in Japanese, or I'll talk in Japanese and he'll talk in English, and we'll respond to each other. It's really cool. So yeah, I would say if you are kind of shy of talking to people and you want to start off with AI chatbots, that's totally fine. I don't see any downside. I wouldn't get used to it though, because I feel like the chatbots, I'm not sure if this is true or not, but can kind of cater to your level of speaking Japanese. So maybe it might get into the habits of saying some phrases and making it really simple Japanese to the point where you won't be improving as much, but I digress. Cooldown. I think people rely on Romaji way too much. Best to get out of the way, to be honest. I think that's a really good point. I think that you should learn hiragana and katakana as fast as you can, but if there are constraints or for the short time that you're learning them, you can definitely learn in Romaji. But like you said, don't get in the habit of doing it, because you got to learn Romaji, oh my gosh. You've got to learn hiragana, katakana, and eventually kanji. Feels better when you start reading sentences full in kanji. That is true. Yeah, pictures and capturing the essence, feeling of a word via concept, super helpful. Totally. Markat, hi. Hello. Okay. Well, I think we are trying to actually see what we've got. Okay, cool. I think we're going to move back over to Discord now. It looks like the live chat is slowing down a little bit. So let's go back over here. Okay. One thing I wanted to ask but didn't know exactly how to word it is about Anki, sentence mining, and so on. I see a lot of people on Japanese Learner YouTube sort of get burnt out on Anki and sentence mining because of principles like do it every day and never miss your reps. But honestly, I really don't think Anki is that important anymore compared to just natural Anki or just continuously encountering stuff in the wild again and again. For context, the word Anki itself just means, I guess like repetition or, I don't know, I guess like memory. Like there's a word in Japanese like maru anki, which is repeating until your like memory of something gets better. So Anki is just more like for memory. Point of reference is Akai Niki's newest video. I like Akai Niki. He does a lot of AJATT updates. Maybe not AJATT, like Anki and like Japanese updates. So highly recommend him. He's very underrated. Where he deletes his 10k word Anki deck. I saw that one from mining because he found himself unable to pass many of his reviews. Again, I don't know how to bring this up as a question, but it's a topic I found interesting, and I really do think AJATTers of the past few years focus on Anki a bit too much. Thoughts? I guess, Lil. Yeah, there are, I kind of touched on this a bit earlier, but there are definitely people who chase those numbers or chase hammering down on those reps. And I think, though, it's probably a bit easier, honestly, to pass your reps when you're earlier on in that study process because you're easing into it. You're learning a lot of those common words that you're going to hear a lot, so it's going to reinforce it. And you're going to get a lot of that natural Anki or repetition outside of studying actual Anki cards. When you get to those higher levels, or intermediate levels even, I feel like it becomes easier to do your reviews because you transition from watching specifically easy content that you may or may not enjoy over to, well, now you can watch more stuff because you know more Japanese. So maybe now I can finally watch or even play Silent Hill 2 Remake in Japanese because now my Japanese is good enough for that, right? Versus me watching like basically, trying to think of a good, like I guess like reading like Yotsubato, which is really good actually. That was a bad example because I love Yotsubato. But you can think though, if you have different interests, reading like a super easy manga versus playing one of your favorite horror, Konami, big title Japanese games, you know, in Japanese, I think really it becomes you can kind of ease off of the Anki pedal and reviews because you're gonna start consuming more content you legitimately enjoy. All right, optimal retention rate in Anki before increasing daily cards. I'd recommend 80 to 90%, honestly. Maybe 75 at the lowest. And for context, for anyone here who's not familiar, that's just like what percentage of your flashcards are you pressing the fail button on or the good button on. Do you track time? If so, what's your process like? I used to have a spreadsheet for tracking time, but as of now, I will just kind of watch YouTube and note the time mentally and kind of average it out. So it's not super accurate, but I do want to track time. I've been actually wanting to see if Migaku will eventually integrate a time tracking feature in their app. So it might be something I can bring up to them, but yeah. Favorite type of media to immerse in? Ooh, right. Recently it's been Let's Plays, YouTube Let's Plays. specifically horror games. I love horror stuff. Even in English, like I watched John Carpenter's The Thing probably like 7 times. I love horror movies. Oh my gosh, and games. So yeah, it's been cool watching playthroughs of games that I loved growing up, but like in Japanese now. So like it's been pretty fun. We'll go through. Let's finish off the Discord chat here, actually, guys. Let's finish these off because we're almost there, and I'll come look at chat, see if we got any questions laid around, and yeah. What's the best way to effectively memorize words in Anki and avoid forgetting them? Also, what method do you recommend for learning kanji? Best way to effectively memorize words in Anki is to immerse, bro. I'm so sorry I keep saying this, but if those words are in Anki, let's assume that it's let's assume that you have those words in Anki as a core to K-Deck, then study them, and once they're kind of in your head, go out there and immerse. Go out there and read some Japanese dictionaries. Go watch some slice of life anime, because then you're going to be hearing them more and more outside of Anki, which is just a natural way. It's a natural repetition system, which is pretty good. What method do you recommend for learning kanji? Either high stakes remembering the kanji or RRTK re-remembering the kanji. Would be really, honestly, my recommendation. It kind of shows you how to piece apart the kanji so that when you even see new kanji, you can be like, oh, that's just like this radical plus this kanji. It probably means this. You can guess it from like the meaning of other kanjis. So, yeah, that would be my recommendation. Remembering the kanji by Heisig. So, what are your goals in learning Japanese? I want to reach a near native fluency so that I can go to Japan and function and make jokes and funny memories with all my Japanese friends, as if I had grown up there almost. I don't know. I just basically want to make more Japanese friends, get closer to them, and make good memories, good vibes, to keep it short, because that is a question I could talk about all night. Learn radicals instead of learning individual complex kanji. This is really true, and that's actually also what Heisei kind of touches on in RTK. What do you think is the single most important thing for Japanese learners to know? I like this question. Thank you. This is actually 7stop. Shout out to 7stop. He's another content creator in the AJATT Immersion learning community. He basically beat Japanese. He's done essentially. But he's cool. So yeah, I would say one thing that I struggle to understand, and that I really want you guys to know if you haven't gotten this yet, is that it's not a race. Japanese is not a race. It is a lifelong journey. And it can take you anywhere from 3 years to get fluent to 10, 20 years. But of course, that progress is not like linear, right? So you can get really good within, realistically, I guess, let's say you have a lot of time to study, maybe 2 or 3 years, you can get pretty decent. And then the rest of those years are just kind of fine tuning and also just filling in those gaps and learning some more specialized words. Like I think 7stop here, he did really good on the N1, which I'm just going to use that as a benchmark. I think he's been studying for a little over 3 years now, or almost 3 years. So that's a good benchmark there. So I think it's just important to take it slow and enjoy the process, like anything. You don't want it to turn from a hobby or a passion into a chore, right? So yeah, just keep it in mind that you're going bit by bit. Every word you learn, every kanji you learn is one little piece of this big mountain of Japanese you're building. So every day that you do that, you're adding a few more pieces to that and building your own little Japanese mountain. It's kind of how I like to visualize it. Once again, guys, I will look back at the YouTube chat after I'm done here. We've got 2 more questions. Do you think those JLPT test YouTube videos are a decent way of testing yourself? Just curious. The one in full Japanese, the one with the chime and stuff. I also realize you guys can't see the... There we go. I think they are. If you're not used to, like... when I was in Japan, this is when I took my second JLPT and I failed. I took it in Japan in the summer. I printed out these packets. I went down to... Everyone was looking at me. I went down to either Lawson or 7-Eleven, and I printed out my... what was it? I literally printed out the entire... No, it was I printed out 3 JLPT and 2 exams, but I pressed the wrong option. There are these, I probably have a picture. There are these really big papers, and I thought it said A4. It was like the size of my face and my whole chest. So I had 3 big packets just carrying around in the street of JLPT exams. It just had like all like the title and everything on the front, and people were staring at me. So that was fun. So that's how I did it. Honestly, though, if you don't want to waste paper or you want to be more convenient or even put the video on 2x speed if you're crazy like that, I mean, yeah, I think it's worth it. As long as it's timed and it's formatted like the real exam, gives you a good experience, I think it's worth it. Okay, I have a trip to Japan in 2 months and I've been studying for the past 30 days, grinding 8 hours a day. I learned hiragana and katakana and just finished Genki 1, but I haven't been learning the kanji since I'm afraid it would take too much time. Would it be fun to start learning kanji after my trip, or would it be too hard to restart learning vocab and kanji? I find it very difficult to memorize kanji, but it's an important aspect of the language. My goal is halfway through N4 by my trip. That is really good. And I would say, I mean, let's think about your trip. If you're going to restaurants, you're going to be reading the menus. And I think, here's what I actually did. When I went to Japan early on, I'll let you on a little trick. What is it? Yeah, when I looked at the menus, I couldn't read the kanji. So I'd look at the waiter and be like, "Osusume wa arimasu ka?" Do you have a recommendation? And then we'd have a conversation in Japanese. I didn't have to read, you know, all I had to read was the lips. And they'd be like, "Oh, well, you know, I really recommend like the soba's really good." And I'd be like, "Okay, let's do the soba then." And I would be able to order food that I didn't even have to read the menu for. Like, I just had a conversation and boom, there's my food. Didn't have to read. So that's cool. You can test your conversations while you're there and kind of try to steer away from reading. But yeah, I don't think you'd have to worry too much. You're totally fine to start learning kanji after your trip, as long as you don't think you're gonna miss out on anything like kanji wise during your trip. I think you'll be fine. It won't be too hard. I think if you do a little bit of studying there, or like honestly just go out of your way to try to read stuff or talk to people, that way you kind of keep your progress if you're not going to study while you're in Japan. But yeah, that's a good goal. That's a lot of grinding. Don't burn yourself out. And yes, I feel that it is very difficult to memorize kanji. That's very valid. All right. Let me look up in the chat here. All right. 母語以外、I'm gonna say 1ヶ月国語目を学んだ、国語目学んだ、言語は日本ですか？なぜ日本語を選んだか教えてくれませんか？ Yeah, yes. So, question is, hold on. Is the only non-native? Oh my gosh, how am I? Is Japanese the only is Japanese your first non-native language you've been studying? And if so, why did you choose Japanese? I chose Japanese because I loved anime and I thought it'd be cool to watch without Japanese subtitles. I stayed for the Japanese because I found out how fun it is to go to Japan and talk to people and get drunk and go talk to people and salarymen at bars and make friends and enjoy the culture and the people there. Yeah, keeping it short. I did answer earlier on, but yeah, I mean, I'd be happy to talk about this all night, honestly. Okay. Learning vocabulary, grammar, understanding sentences, listening, reading and writing kanjis. I memorize them that way. It's kind of overwhelming, and sometimes I don't want to do anything, lol. Yeah, I feel that. I think that once you learn a decent amount of vocabulary, even 1 to 2K is enough so that you don't overwhelm yourself. I mean, do some reading practice, seriously. Even if it's from a textbook, just start doing some really easy, like N5 level reading practice and get used to that vibe of reading and how sentences are generally put together in Japanese. I actually don't really explicitly study grammar anymore because grammar is just words, essentially. Grammar is just different words put together with different meanings, essentially. So I would say, yeah, do a good old Tai Kim's grammar, or Sakubi as another one. I'd recommend just look up Japanese grammar guide online. Those will pop up. And do a quick run through. See if there's anything you're not familiar with or that's kind of irking you. And look it up, read it, and then put it down. And maybe try watching some of your favorite animes in Japanese that you've watched in English before, so that you can kind of, you vaguely know what the lines are, and you can kind of hear it in Japanese and almost trick your brain into thinking you understand it, when in reality, you're picking out a few words in context, and you are starting to understand it. But I found that kind of really helps you get more time in immersing and understanding Japanese without getting tired up. When you get a chance, can you give some advice on tackling grammar study, please? I actually made a video about this. Best way to study Japanese grammar. So feel free to check that out when the stream's over. Quick guide though. Yeah, literally just speedrun like a grammar guide online like Tai Kim or Sakubi, Sakubi, and read through stuff. Maybe not even all the chapters. You could scroll through all of them and start increasing your vocabulary. And that's pretty much it. Then you would just start consuming easy content and building your way up. And as your vocabulary increases, your grammar knowledge also just increases because grammar is just words. And you'll be able to watch more and more complex content and learn more and more complex words. 8 hours is a lot. 8 hours is a lot. Heard anything longer than 90 minutes is counterproductive. I think you can definitely burn yourself out if you study for too long. Now, anything longer than 90 minutes, it depends what that anything is. If it's just chilling and watching easy anime that you can comprehend most of, do that all day. But if it's active reading, where you're like locked in, and looking up every word, oh yeah, I probably couldn't do that more than 40 minutes. Also, Sazoku, thank you for becoming a backer on the channel. Really appreciate the support. We are one person closer to me making videos here full time. No, just kidding. Kind of. No, I'm not. This would be awesome to do full time. I love doing this stuff for you guys. 日本で働いて積みたいですから日本語を勉強しています。JLPT N3 がいいですか? Actually, yes. I've heard. So they're asking. They want to live and work in Japan. Is the JLPT N3 going to be enough for that? I would say yeah. N2 is preferable. You don't have to go for N1. It's mainly a flex at that point. But yeah, if you do N3, you're going to be finding a lot of people doing English teachers in Japan through the JET program, or also a lot of people will do a language school there and also be able to work and get sponsored and also like work at convenience stores or at restaurants part-time to also make a living. And so once you go to those language schools, you can grind, get your N2 certificate, and then get a specialized visa through a company, and then work full-time in a more technical role, or just any role that's more aligned with, I guess, whatever you've studied or want to go into. So people were able to study for long periods of time, but it's pretty rare. You need to be insane for a student. I would agree. 2 hours is my maximum. Yeah, that is a lot of time. It's tough, but 30 days in and still going 8 hours a day. If I see myself starting to burn out, I'll slow down a bit, but so far so good. Yeah, please, Nick. It sounds like you really love Japanese, and I would hate to see you start to loathe it from burnout. So if you ever feel yourself starting a little tired, just ease off a little bit. But that is really impressive. Seriously, congrats on that. All right. Let's see what else we got here. Haishin. Oh my gosh. My chat's getting covered. Give me a second. 配信助かりそうで面白かったです。質問答えてくれてありがとうございます。The stream was a lifesaver and it was interesting. Thank you for answering my questions. No problem. NT gives you visa point also. Oh yes, on the what is it? It's like the highly specialized worker visa or something where you can fill out a table on points. It's like your income, your GLBT level, I think your major, work experience, whether or not you own a business, and like also like what level of degree you got. Like there's a lot of different things. So yeah, that is pretty interesting. You only learn around 600 kanji sort of passing on 3. This is true. You don't have to get manten. Full points is what that means. You don't have to pass. You just got to get pretty much half, and also get by each section a third of the questions right, roughly. But they still have to add up to. It's weird. So you have to pass each section, which means you need at least 19 out of 60 points. But then those all have to add up to 90. So you need to pass each section. So I get a 19 in one section, and then get like 40s in the others and still pass. But it has, yeah, I don't know. JLPT is weird, man. Do I have to learn katakana if I already know hiragana? I don't want to learn another 46. You probably should. It depends what your goals are with the language. I find a good chunk of the katakana actually looks pretty similar to the hiragana. Maybe not a good amount, but a fair bit. So it'll make it easier. But you can start studying using just hiragana, and then slowly learn katakana as you're going on. The reason katakana is important is it uses a lot of loan words. For example, karaoke is like on all the signs in Japan. If any of you watched anime or seen pictures of Japan or been there, you'll see all these signs on the street that say karaoke for karaoke and a lot of other things. So if you want to ever visit Japan, be able to point to street signs and tell your friends, oh, that's the karaoke, or oh, yeah, that's a bar. I mean, I would recommend it. There's so many loan words in Japanese too. So if you already know English, learning katakana is so worth it because, I mean, that unlocks just like potentially hundreds and hundreds of words for you that, I mean, you don't really even have to study. Like, you'll just kind of see them and be like, oh, that sounds like tor, like tua, which that's a bad example because honestly, that's one of the words that messes a lot of people up, but you catch my drift. Feel free to, yeah, as Cooldown said, please feel free to join the Discord community for some infinite motivation in your Japanese. Seriously. It should be, let me post an invite just so you guys can have it. I will go ahead and put an invite to the Discord server in the chat if anyone here has not been in there yet. So feel free to join in on that. We have sometimes we'll hop in VC. You can post questions, share resources. It's in the description too. I totally forgot about that. Yeah, so go ahead and do that. Jodan dayo, Affinity. There are companies in Japan telling me N4 is enough, but N3 would be definitely better. There's a shortage of engineers in Japan, or at least that's what I've heard. I've heard that too. Yeah, I mean, you could honestly, for people wondering, you could test yourself on N4 just to get that certificate, because then go for N3. Because worst case, if you still have a certificate in hand, if you try to go for the N3 and fail it, then you don't have a certificate at all. And then you have to go back the next year and hope you pass N3, or just take N4 a year later. So, chikara. Chikara. Yeah, oh my gosh. Yeah, Japanese is funny. It's a weird language, but oh my goodness. Yeah. You start my name or my friend's name in katakana as they would be considered foreign words, I guess. Yep, I would do the same thing. Like, I write my name like this. I'll put it in chat. If I can get it to, yeah. That's how I write mine. Does the JapaneseQandA cost money to take, and do you have to take it in person? So, yes, it costs money. I think for me, over here in the States, it's around $100. I think it is actually just exactly $100. And then I drive there with my friends. I carpool, so I have to pay for that. And then, yes, it has to be taken in person because it's proctored. It's official. So yeah, I would say that is definitely a must-have. Chinese, my name in Chinese is San-san. That's pretty good. Nihonji nani iru? In this chat, I don't know. They're asking how many Japanese people are there. In my Discord server, I believe we've got a few for sure at least, and we've got some people who are either like half Japanese who are studying Japanese for their family. Or even just people who are in relationships with Japanese people. So, I mean, there's that. I think there's a handful of Japanese people in there, too. So, feel free to check it out. Always love to do language exchange server. I know it does say JP with Jared, but I do have channels for both general English, Japanese. So, whatever language you're learning, you can always add more, too. Want to be welcoming to all of you guys. Do you think you'll try to learn another language in the future when you feel your Japanese is at a high enough level? That's actually a great question. I think I'd like to. I think I'd want to start learning probably when my Japanese feels near native, which, yeah, I know that could take years and years, but, yeah, I almost feel like I'm cheating on Japanese if I try to study another language. It makes me feel guilty. But, yeah, I think a language I'd want to learn after this is probably Tagalog, which is a language spoken, well, there's also Cebuano, but one of the languages spoken in the Philippines. I don't really have this urge to learn like Korean or Chinese as much as a lot of other Japanese learners have kind of gotten. But yeah, gotta go. See you later. Mata ne. All right. Bye, Suzoku. Thanks again for becoming a member, a backer of the channel. Really appreciate it. Spingle Benkyo Staika. Honestly, I kind of do. I've heard that they're asking if I want to study. If I want to study Spanish. I would say it's definitely one of the easier languages to learn. So when you're going from English to Japanese, the benchmark, and this varies wildly, but it's around 2,000, 2,200 hours of study to become, I don't know, conversationally fluent. Spanish, I think, is more like 500 to 600 hours, which is almost like a quarter of the time. So it's definitely a lot easier to get to a higher level in that. And considering that I'm in the States, I mean, I have a lot of people who I could talk way more to if I learned Spanish. So I might. It might be worth the time investment. Portuguese to Spanish is super easy. Oh, I bet. Yeah. I know Japanese borrows a word for, I think it's squash, kabocha, that actually comes from Portuguese, I believe. So it's kind of interesting how not all loanwords are from English and Japanese, but just a fun fact. Do you know how to write Japanese, and do you think it's necessary? Because if you're taking a class in Japanese, you have to translate in your head to English notes. I do know how to write in Japanese to an extent, so I can write hiragana, katakana, and I can probably write about, oh goodness gracious me. Oh, maybe right now from like memory by hand, I probably can't write more than do like 50 kanji, but I can read like 2100-ish probably. So I think if I read enough, I'd be able to get to writing again. But yeah, I would say I think it's worth it if you're like, let's say you're in Japan and you're taking a Japanese class, or your class is in Japanese. If you try to take your notes in English and translate, you're just putting yourself in this bubble where you're going to get this habit of just translating all the time and kind of hiding out in your English bubble, which I think is sort of like mottainai, which is like in Japanese, just kind of like, that's kind of a waste of a good opportunity. Like, let's just say you are in Japan and you're studying abroad. I mean, you know, it's just going to be way more worth it in my opinion, honestly, if you act like you're a Japanese student. Literally take your notes in Japanese. If you don't know a word, go talk to the professor after. That's good conversation practice. Ask your Japanese friends. Make Japanese friends. Take your notes in Japanese. Look up the words later. There's so many things you can do to get the most out of your experience there. So I would say it's worth it. Kakoi gengo desu. You're talking about Spanish? They're saying Spanish is a cool language. I think it is. I actually don't know what that means, but I know walang anuman, ang masarap, and mahal kita, and probably a few other things. I think payat means thin. But yeah, I studied Tagalog for a little bit, and then I kind of decided to move back to Japanese for now and kind of speedrun that. Tagalog. Yes, VTuber. Tagalog. Oh, I know that. Yeah. Oh, that's awesome, Albert. That's awesome. What do you use to study kanji? So I studied RTK, remembering the kanji. It breaks up kanji into radicals and different parts. And kind of helps you. It uses stories for each of the radicals. So let's just say, there's the Japanese kanji for prison, and it's the radical for a pack of wolves, wild wolves. Then the radical for like speech or words used in like yu or kotoba, and then you also have the radical for dog, or I guess in this case chihuahua. So it's like in prison, like the chihuahua can only use its words to defend itself from the pack of wild dogs in the next cell. That sounds crazy, but it's so crazy you remember it, and you kind of remember how to put together all of the words. All right. Sorry, let me get some music back in for you guys. But yeah, so that's how I recommend studying. You can also just honestly learn words and learn kanji bit by bit, and keep reading and immersing, and it'll just kind of start to stick. But yeah, I knew that. I'm just using Japanese translators. Okay, I see. You could guess a lot of the stroke orders. This is true also. Once you learn the stroke order for enough kanji and have the general idea that it's top to bottom, right to left, left to right, left top to bottom, left. I don't know. I'm sorry. Yeah, I think it's top to bottom, left to right, actually. Just trying to think of like all the kanji strokes that I know. Yeah, it sounds about right. All right. Try to write hiragana by hand, and I forgot more than I imagined. Yeah, it's a thing, man. I mean, if you do a lot of immersion and input, like, it's easy to get to that point where you can read a lot of kanji, but like, oh, if it's not in front of you, just trying to write it from scratch could be quite the hassle. Me gusta este idioma. I like your idioms? I don't know. I'm sorry. Hi, would you ever consider creating a Discord server to practice Japanese practicing skills? I followed your advice and I did end up joining a couple, and they've helped, but they're not too active. Lucky for you. In the description and in chat right now for you with the Korean username. I don't know how to read that. feel free to join the Discord. We've got a wonderful community. You might also already be in there. But yeah, we've got a lot of people. We'll sometimes hop at voice chat, practice English or Japanese. Completely honestly, I think we've only done that once actually, but would love to do it more. So the more people we get, the more opportunities we'll have to hop in those calls. So feel free to join in there. You gamer, yes, I love video games. I recently been playing a lot of Silent Hill 2, the remake in Japanese. Some of the Resident Evil games I've been liking. Resident Evil 2, actually. I like number 2 a lot, I guess. I also have this unhealthy addiction. I haven't touched it in a while, luckily, but Rimworld. It's a colony sim, so that one's pretty good. Of course, the Yakuza, Sega's Yakuza series. I've played pretty much every game in the series except for Infinite Wealth and Judgment, so I need to still play those. I do play a couple of JRPGs, and I've been trying to get more into visual novels. I think I started the Angel Beats visual novel recently, so that's been kind of fun to play through. No, all good. No worries. No worries. Yeah, left to right. Thank you, Cooldown, for clarifying my sanity. Have you ever heard about Kotobot Discord bot? It's a very nice bot to have on the server. The bot has SRS, leaderboard, plus other Japanese-related tools. That, I have actually heard of it. I need to add it. And I actually have some moderators elected. I have not given them their roles yet, so thank you for reminding me. I'm going to do that. I'm going to add a bot so you guys have some more stuff to mess with in the server. So I'll go ahead and do that. I've been studying Japanese for 5 years, like inconsistently, and now that I have time to study Japanese, but my speaking skills are so bad. Yeah, I mean, honestly, I would just watch more anime, listen to some podcasts, try to start shadowing a bit. And actually, I think Cooldown's question sort of ties into this. I know you answered this a little bit, but how do you go about speaking more advanced sentences? I'll keep immersing them out, but any advice, other advice as well? Great question. Yeah, because I guess you can only get so good at speaking to the point where you have to fine-tune it. I would honestly say, if you're studying more explicitly, like during your reviews, like look at the sentences, think about how the words are tied together, and really, if you have to read, repeat. When I was doing a lot more extensive reading, I'd have an audiobook playing along, and so I'd be able to read and listen to the voice in my head, and even shadow that. So when I didn't have the book in front of me, I would shadow the speaker. And I found that really helped, because then my mouth and brain kind of got used to like, oh, when I say this word in Japanese, this one follows 80% of the time. This seems more natural. So yeah, I mean, the only way you can sound more like a Japanese person is to basically mimic a Japanese person and consume Japanese content. So that's typically the route to go, in my opinion. And if you keep doing that with more and more advanced content, then your output level is also going to get more and more advanced alongside with that. So hopefully that answers your question. Sorry if I just missed your reading earlier, but there's a game version of the movie The Thing you were talking about earlier called Nuclear Nightmare. I have Nuclear Nightmare. I don't have anyone to play it with, so if you guys have it and want to get some gaming on, maybe we can even play in Japanese and talk to each other in Japanese only. That could be fun. But yeah, just join. Thank you so much. No problem. No problem. No problem. Yeah. So that's all of the questions. If no one has anything to ask, I mean, we can end the stream here. If you guys want to just chill here, it's 8:31. So we can chill here for another 10 minutes. You guys can go make dinner, breakfast, go hang out with your friends, enjoy the near weekend. But yeah, I'll hang out here for a few minutes if you guys have questions, and if not, we can end it. I'll do I guess a shameless plug here. I use Migaku every day. It's really nice for me. I feel like it gets all of the SRS tools all in one place. You can immerse. You can track your vocabulary count. So if you go to migaku.com/JaredDesu, you can actually get a month free or 10% off the lifetime deal. So, and yes, I do get money from this, but I only am affiliated with Migaku and no one else, because it is legit like the only tool I ever want to push and promote, because it is truly something I think that a lot of people would benefit from. So go ahead, feel free to check out the link that I just sent if you're really interested. But yeah, other than that, I think we are about wrapping up the stream. How hot is Japan, gangy? What's up my slime, my gang? It's hot. I mean, I wouldn't know right now because I'm not there. I'm actually in my own apartment here in the middle of the United States. But I've been in the summer. I think 3 out of the 4 times I've been. Oh my gosh, I learned very fast to wear a lot of like tank tops, so that when you sweat, it doesn't show on your outerwear. And oh my gosh, all the people walking around with the handheld fans that you get from like Don Quixote, just on the train, or like I have these distinct memories of riding in the subway. There's these little vents on the top of the train, so when you're like in the tunnels or moving super fast, you get these nice little bursts or whooshes of like air into the like train in the subway, and it feels so good. But man, it's also not the heat so much. It's mainly just how jime or like humid it is. So yeah, it's something. It's really the weather there is just unbearable, at least during the summer. That's why I've been trying to go more in the winter or the fall. I do want to go in the spring some point to go look at the sakura, but other than that, I mean, I think that's pretty much my thoughts on the weather in Japan. Migaku's goaded helped me go from N5 to N3 in a year through Anki and Migaku sentence mining. Yeah, I found it really helpful so far. It also makes the Hanami. Yeah. It also makes just like the immersion process, I feel like a little less intensive and more gamified, just more chill, more lax, as some would say. So, yeah. Not really sure what else you guys want to talk about. We did answer pretty much, hopefully, everyone's questions. So if there are any others, you can always put them in the chat here. I'd be happy to do another Q&A stream. But I think from here on out, the streams I want to do, I probably want to do it every 2 weeks. I've been thinking about doing either play with me in Japanese, like games, like just like playthroughs. So, for example, Silent Hill remake, Japanese. I love those horror games. There's that Garden of Bonbon. That was a really big one in Japan. A lot of Japanese people like that game. Poppy's Playtime is big everywhere, but I don't know. Are those horror games or are those just jump scare games? I can't really tell. But yeah, I think sort of like a walkthrough video game streams in Japanese would be good, where I break down sentences bit by bit. I also wanted to just do study with me Japanese. I don't want to become another reaction YouTuber, but I think it'd be cool to just like watch videos on YouTube in Japanese and showcase kind of how I go about mining words from there and learning as we go. So yeah, if you guys have any other ideas for content in the future or any streams you'd like to see, or maybe you'd like to hop on call on stream, give your thoughts on your Japanese learning journey, would love to hear about that. Yeah, it's more jump scare. I've watched Dokumas play some Banban. Nice. Is that that's Moose? Dude, I swear, see, I'm still having issues with That's Moo. That's Moo. That's Moo. Did you watch Ludwig and Michael Reeves cross Japan? Was that real? They did do that, didn't they? Yeah. I was thinking of something else. What was it? It was something about the what was it? The Jidohan Baiki, the convenience, oh my gosh. Like the vending machines. I think it was something where like they'd have to spend a certain amount of money at a vending machine and then keep walking that distance in yen. I don't know. Something crazy. I don't think they did that, but they did a different stream where they crossed. I did watch some of that. That was pretty entertaining. Yeah. I really like watching abroad in Japan. Like Chris Broad. C-Dog VA is pretty cool. PewDiePie's over in Japan now. He's living it up. So, yeah. I like to kind of keep tabs on the content creators over there. Like the I guess they're Japanese by visa, by nationality, but like I guess the Japanese born people just kind of living it up there, because that would be kind of cool for me to do. Would love to either work there or just spend more time there, kind of get better at the language, or make some more friends there. So yeah. Either way, this has been really fun. I seriously did not expect this many people to show up for our first stream, but I'm glad it happened. So, yeah. You guys feel free to tune in. The VOD will stay up, and I will go ahead and edit this down to a more consumable length next week. If anyone wants to come back to reference it, or maybe you weren't able to, if you just weren't able to kind of tune in for this time, which is totally fine. You gotta ping out in the server if you're putting up a nuclear nightmare session, though. I want to hit a kaibutsu ga kita. Ah, kaibutsu ga kita. Okay, okay, I got you. The monster has come. The monster's here. I got you. All right. Well, since this is going to become a YouTube video eventually, I guess I'll do a little outro here. You guys feel free to say whatever you want in the chat. Just keep it semi-friendly. Is my hand really that small? Oh my gosh. Sorry, I'm getting used to this new camera. All right. What do I even say? Oh my gosh. We've been streaming for so long. Thank you, Marquette. Yeah. Hope you enjoyed the video. If you liked it, go ahead and leave a like. And if you loved it, feel free to subscribe. And if you want to support the channel, you can do so right here by becoming a member backer or just doing a super thanks. And as always, thanks for joining the video. So keep immersing, keep learning, and keep grinding. And I'll see you in the next one. Bye. There we go. Yeah, there we go. See, the chat's loving it. Thank you, guys. Oh, I should probably do an intro, too. This is so weird. I'm sorry I'm doing an intro when we're ending this off. But, yeah. Hey everyone, so in this video, I'm going to... Oh wow, you guys have to like watch me mess up takes. Hey everyone, so in this video, we're addressing your hottest questions on how to study Japanese and how to generally go about studying it. So in this live stream, I kind of address those questions, and this is more of a cut down video, more consumable length if you didn't make the stream or you just wanted to go back and rewatch it. So enjoy. There we go. I think we're good. We've got everything we need. I'm going to give it maybe 2 or 3 more minutes here. If you guys have any other questions, something I didn't cover, then yeah, you're here for behind the scenes. That's true, actually. Yeah. I don't know what I can show you. Do I have behind the scenes stuff at my desk? This is the mouse I edit my videos with. Autofocus. Yeah. Look at that. Look at that focus. This is the mic I use. These are some XLR cords. They're not being used right now, but yeah. Oh yeah, here's the controller for my light. Oh, that's scary. I'm sorry. Glorious model. Oh, bro is a gamer. I do like gaming. I used to put tape on it. Not XLR. Don't lie. What? Okay, I'm sorry. What are these? This is gonna bother me. I do have an XLR cable for my mic. I mean, you can see it. It's right here. Hollow one. Usually opt for heavier ones. Yeah, I 3.5 millimeter boring audio. I'm sorry, you audio nerd. Yeah, I like the hollow because it's lighter for gaming. I've been trying to get a little bit better at competitive shooters, so it's nice to have a lighter mouse that you kind of just like glides across the mouse pad. But I could talk about for pretty much anything all night, and I don't want to keep you guys, so I'm gonna go ahead and probably end the stream here. Oh wait, there's another question. Hold on. What's the affiliate software you use that helps aid your Japanese studying and gives fans to channel a 10% discount? Genuine question. Haha. Oh, well, thank you for asking that, cooldown. That tool will be Migaku. And if you use my affiliate link, migaku.com/JaredDesu, you can get a free month on me or 10% off the lifetime deal. It's a really useful tool, and it's honestly helped me tremendously in my immersion studies. I highly recommend it. And there's no commit, and you can always get a free refund after up to 14 days of using it. So there's no harm in checking it out. So go ahead, check it out at migaku.com/JaredDesu. Sweet, glad to know. Yeah, no problem, cooldown. I got you. Yeah. Thank you, Albert. Seriously, guys, I had so much fun talking with you. Let me know if you like more streams like this on I guess every Thursday night, every 2 weeks. But yeah, have a good rest of y'all's night, day, morning, and have a great weekend. I'll see you around. So bye, guys. Take it easy. Bye. 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 Pay chatter activities. Yeah. Have a good one. You guys too. Seriously. Bye. Have a good night. Bye. Bye. Why are you still here? Why are you still here? Stop staring at me. Stop with the hearts. I mean, I love y'all too, but no, you hang up. No, you hang up. You're right. That is what it feels like. Oh my gosh. I just want to see the number go to 0. Or at least like below 10. I feel, did you, oh my god. I'm turning into a streamer already. I'm stuttering. Do people just like get up and leave? Maybe they're like in the bathroom and the phone's on the counter and they can't reach it. And they're just listening to me saying, no, you hang up. All right. All right. The spam's crazy. All right. Okay. It's right here. The number just went up. People want to see me leave. No, you hang up. No, you. No, you. Oh my gosh. How long are we going to do this? Okay. All right. Okay. This sucks because this is like my first stream and it's been so fun. Show stream key. No, I'm not. Ooh, what's that? Woo! Whoa, exclusive offer with Jared Desu. I'm gonna plug this while you guys are still here. Woo! Whoa. Oh, let's get this to the monthly play. Oh, $10 a month? Whoa, 14-day money back guarantee? Oh my gosh, what? That's insane. Plus 1 free month. $15 for early access. No way. Wow, I'm getting scammed. Whoa, 10%. I would not. All right, actually, don't buy this. I mean, if someone from Migaku's watching, actually, maybe, please buy this. Please spend all this money in one sitting before trying it out. No, please, at least try one of these out if you want to. But yeah, I think that's enough. That's probably enough pushing. You're here all night. Oh gosh. Okay. Well. I'm not picking up that call. One of the viewers called me. They have my number for some reason. All right, 15 seconds till it's 8:45 for me, and then I'm calling it. But seriously, you guys have a good rest of your night. Is he allowed to speak about his affiliate? Yes, I am. Yeah, I can speak about it whenever. This stream's not sponsored or affected by anyone else. This stream's actually not really even sponsored. It's just mentioning that I am an affiliate. So we're good on that end, according to the contract. I wish I had imaginary glasses to push up, but yeah. So feel free to check it out. You don't even have to do the affiliate if you don't want to. Like, if you're gonna get it but don't want to support me because you hate me, that's fine. No, I understand if you don't want to go the affiliate route. But legit, it's a good tool. I recommend trying it out. I'm just saying the first 100 flashcards are actually free, so. I mean, you can just not even give them your credit info and just try it for a couple hundred for 100 cards and just see how it goes. So, yeah. Anyways, it seems like we have 17. How many people? We have like 3 or 4 people talking. Okay. We probably got around 13 people just sitting here idly. And about 4 people actually talking to me. So, yeah. Oh, man, I've been sitting in my cubicle all day working IT, and now I'm sitting at my desk yapping about Japanese. This is the life. This is a lot of fun, though. I'm gonna go make my my soup dumplings for dinner over some rice, and yeah, probably enjoy some gaming with the boys. But yeah, you're sitting here intensely. Are your fists clenched and you're just staring at the screen? Yeah. Anywho, man, someone is just spamming the hearts. That is crazy. All right, we went down 1 viewer. Come on, guys. Surely it's not that hard to just click off the stream. You can come back and watch the VOD if you want to stare at me that bad. Come on. I'm serious. I'm so serious. Okay. Yeah, there we go. 15. Yeah. But, yeah, I guess now that you guys are joining in the Discord, come in general. Introduce yourself and Jigo Shokai self-introductions. And just yap. And if you have any recommendations on future stream themes, let me know. So far, like I said, play Japanese games with me. So I'll break down sentences from the game bit by bit, like dialogue, or study Japanese with me, where I'll have maybe a Pomodoro timer, and we'll just be watching, I guess actually studying. And then there's also just watch Japanese with me. Just watch Japanese videos, mine using Migaku, Immerse. Hiya, how's the stream going? Hello, Zombie Souffle. Zombie Souffle is a very, very cool person. Lots of comments on the channel. Thank you so much for showing all of your love. Yeah, it's going good. We're actually just about to end it off. The numbers going back up. Oh my goodness. Yeah, we're about to end off the stream here. Yeah. I mean, I could go till the top of this hour, I guess. I just don't know what you guys want to talk about. This is more just a Q&A stream, but if there's no Q's, I can't give that many A's. So that's pretty much it. But I'm waiting for, this is sort of a like a no you hang up situation now. But yeah. 19, what are you guys doing? Okay. Yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and end it. I feel bad. I'm not actually providing content for you guys. I'm just sitting here. Oh my gosh. Oh, another question. Okay, I'll answer this, and then it is time for you guys to go eat and relax and enjoy your days. Here's a cue. You play any fighting games? Brawlhalla. Oh my gosh. I mean, I haven't played it in a minute, but that. Oh my gosh, I could play that forever. There were. My buddies and I will still get on and mess around on Roblox. There's some like anime fighting games with some like crazy moves, and there's like these cutscenes when you like just like combo each other. So that's pretty fun. I don't know if you guys are into fighting games, but yeah, I tried Street Fighter, like Mortal Kombat and such, but that is way too. That is just like it's way too intense for me, and not in terms of like the violence, but the actual dedication you have to put into those games. I like DOA. What is DOA? I know MK is Mortal Kombat. Yeah, I've seen those that get better animations than some animes. You are so right. A certain T-bait comes to mind. Ah, okay. Here's some free content. Should I put my system languages to Japanese? I mean, yeah, depends on what level you're at, I'd say, because on one hand, it'll force you. I should rephrase that. I think it depends on how much free time you have. On one hand, it'll force you to learn the language, right? Like when I first changed my phone language to Japanese, so this is when I was starting a new job. I worked at a place called Ramen Tatsuya, down in Texas. I was making so many friends with coworkers and my boss, so I had their phone numbers. And oh my gosh, there's an option on the iPhone to share your location or make a new contact. And now if you have your phone in Japanese and you have an iPhone, you probably might know where this is going. It's all like kanji. I think there's some katakana in there, but at that point I didn't really know the difference. So when I was trying to add like my boss's boss on my phone, I just shared my location with him. And I didn't even notice until like a week later. So he just knew where I was at all times for the next week. And yeah, he would call me and it just show up as a random number. So I would say it depends on how much free time you have. If you have enough time to dedicate to not make that mistake and it's not going to impact your work life or your life in general that much, then I'd say, yeah, go for it. I mean, my computer's in Japanese. You can see my Discords. So I'll show it here. And you can see my Discords in Japanese here. I mean, that's my server, but you go to my settings, I guess. You can see that it's all in Japanese. So yeah, it really depends. If you have enough time to do it, I would try it. Because worst case, you can flip it back. It's not really gonna hurt anyone. It's really no issue. But yeah, I would say that's definitely worth a move. Yeah. All right. There we go. Yes, 100. Yes, thank you for all the love, guys. Thank you. I do appreciate it. Yeah. It's really good to do this. I had left a comment earlier today. Someone had asked me. This actually is something I want to cover before I get off here. Let me pull up my comment. This is something I want to address. It may not be tea, but it is something that I have been wanting to talk about. So let me pull up my response here. You guys may have noticed I changed my channel name from Pera Pera Jared to Mada Mada Jared. So Pera Pera means fluent, and Mada Mada is like not quite yet. So the reason I did that is, I mean, some of you may have seen my N2 score. It's like 120, and I also realized I chose Pera Pera because I want to make a community of people who want to become fluent in Japanese, and also Pera Pera kind of sounds like part of my last name. I won't go too much into that because I don't want to dox, but I just thought it sounded catchy at the time. So let me go to my studio here because I did want to address why I kind of did that. Yeah, I know it's gonna be a little bit of awkward silence while I pull up the deets. All right, let's see here. I think it's here. Yeah, I just have so many videos, man, you know. Okay, let's get to the comments. I won't show it because I don't want to I don't want to dox. Oh, it's actually not showing up on my computer. Anyways, long story short, someone was asking me, I'm not buying you the Switch 2. Come on now. Let's give it like 2 years so it'll go down. Or I'll get it for you in Japan. It'll be region locked. Maybe I should do a Switch 2 giveaway. Okay, let me make myself bigger here because we got, it's not tea, but it's something I want to talk about. Okay. It's time to get nice, up close, and personal. Alright, so I had a user who commented sort of like, why is your channel name Para Para Jared if you haven't really done any unscripted content in Japanese? And yeah, I responded saying, you know, like, I actually did. I did a hello talk. You can check it out right here. And then they replied with a comment which I saw it in YouTube Studio on my phone, but it's not showing up on YouTube. So I promise if you're watching this, you're not shadow banned. I don't know what's happening there. But essentially, they had mentioned that it was sort of like just like a funny jab. And they mentioned that it may be misleading to my viewers to tell them that I'm fluent and be teaching them how to study Japanese when I'm not really even quite there myself, which can lead up to a bad impression. And they also were kind of mentioning down the line that I might start like a paid course and try to grift money and scam my viewers out of money. And I mean, that's fair. By what JLPT level will I understand most of the animes without subtitles? I'd say if you had to put a number to it, which you don't have to, but like maybe N2 for me personally, and then like I guess around N2 or even like in between N3 and N2 at some point. But yeah, I just want to clarify to you guys in my response to those comments, I'm just going to read out my response because I don't think anyone's going to see it. So I just want to have some sort of document here. I want to hold myself to this, what I'm about to say, for the rest of the time I'm making videos on this platform for you guys. So I replied, really good points. I'm sorry I'm just now getting back to you. Your initial comment was funny and a well-grounded jab. I actually ended up changing my name to Mada Mada since I really don't feel like I've earned the right to call myself near native fluent just yet. Maybe I'll change it back to Para Para in a few years. The last thing I want is to give newcomers a false impression that could lead to unrealistic expectations and eventually burnout for a lot of learners. You can definitely learn Japanese to near native fluency for free. No arguing with that. Migaku is something I genuinely love and support, and I really believe it can become a staple tool for immersion learners, which is why I vouch for it so much. And I could never put out a shady course or scam my community out of money. And since day one, my goal with this channel has been to build a positive, helpful language learning community from the ground up, rather than blow up quick to get tons of views and money. As long as I'm putting out content and resources for people that are legitimately helpful and the viewers are happy, you guys, then I'm also happy. Would I ever make a paid course down the line? Probably not. If I could honestly, truly identify something that free courses, materials don't already cover, only then would I ever start to think about making a course, and maybe not even paid. And I would admit to you guys, for everyone here, yes, I would love to commit my focus to this channel full time, which does mean I'd have to have some way paying rent. But I'd like to do this through legit, non-griftery means. So that means AdSense revenue, Migaku affiliates, maybe the occasional sponsor. And this is kind of where I want to address what my channel is all about. I aim to build a reputation of staying honest, helpful, and supportive towards anyone who comes across my channel, and that'll never change. I appreciate you sharing your perspective. Seriously, I feel like you're helping me get a strong start here and avoid acquiring the wrong reputation down the line. Thank you for pointing out some potential issues with how I'm presenting myself on the platform. I'll make sure to hold myself to what I've said here, and I hope I can exceed the expectations that have been set by some other creators. Cheers. So that's my response. That's what this whole channel is about. So just so you guys know, yes, I'm going to plug Migaku. maybe more than I should. It's honestly because I'm hyped about it, but rest assured, I don't want to sell any courses. I'm just here to help y'all make your Japanese learning journeys more effortless, more smooth, and more chill, because it's supposed to be fun. And that's why I made this whole channel, because my learning journey was very hard and painful, and I don't want anyone to go through that. So just kind of wanted to address that, because it is something that I've thought about. So I started off as Para Jared, which I'm going to be honest, I'm not fluent in Japanese, but I'm happy with how far I've come. I've passed the JLPTN2, and it's only up from here. So yeah, that is how we're feeling. That is how we're feeling. That is what the channel is all about. I strive to be honest for you guys, and I want to make sure we build a very non-toxic, very positive, encouraging Japanese learning community. That's what we're all about. So hopefully that's what you guys feel about the Discord. Once again, in the description, you can join in there. We yap a lot. Want to get more voice chats going on occasionally, but yeah. Your videos help me a lot. Thanks a lot. No problem. I don't think you have to be fluent to help others. Just discover your channel, and it's helping me a lot. Thank you so much. You have integrity. It's commendable. Thank you. I really appreciate it. You're such a cool streamer. Thank you. And we got some more questions. Let me get this real quick, and I will let y'all go at the top of the hour. This is actually perfect. Hello, bro. Quick question. Do you think it is a better block of 3 hours for studying vocab and immersion, or divide the times in many sessions throughout your day in small blocks? So the issue with this is going to be the flow, right? So think about it like this. You have your setup and your tear down, I guess I'll call it, right? So the goal with immersion, in my opinion, is to make that setup as easy as possible. By setup, I mean, like, what do you have to do to, like, get yourself... Now, I'm sorry if you saw that. I spat a little bit because I'm so excited. I'm feral. What do you have to do to get yourself ready to immerse, right? Do you have to sit down, turn on your PC, wait, look up a video that you'll like to watch in Japanese, and then hit play after, like, 10 minutes of searching? Or is it seriously like you have a laptop with a video ready, so when you get home, you open it and press spacebar, right? So it depends. If you break up your study session and you happen to have long setup or set down times, then those 3 hours broken up might get trimmed down to like 2 hours, right? So if you can, and this is my honest opinion, if you can kind of set aside one chunk of a study session, I think you should do it. But if it's really long or you have multiple gaps throughout your day, then I would focus on making your setup easy. Make your Japanese material really accessible, right? Like some immersion content creators have mentioned, like having an iPod or just your phone with a bunch of Japanese audio files ready, and so you have your headphones on. You literally have to whip out your phone and press play, and that's it. So maybe if I'm on lunch break or I'm walking over to like the coffee machine at work, I got my headphones on. I'll just press play, and boom, there's like 2 minutes of insurance. Oh my goodness, immersion. Jeez, I'm adulting too much recently. I'm sorry, guys, but yeah. So I think it's up to you. If you think if you have time to just do it all in one sitting, but it's too tiring, you can also use Pomodoro timers, which is like it really helps you focus. So you'll study for 25 minutes and then have a 5-minute break, and then come back, study another 25 minutes, and then a 5-minute break, and that helps you kind of. There's like graphs about it, but it's like helps with your productivity flow. Sounds pretty nice. So it kind of depends. It's going to be different person to person. But really, if I had to give you something to do, I'd recommend just like trying it out for 3 hours with the Pomodoro timer. See how that works. If you can take studying for 25 minutes and then taking a 5-minute break, getting up, getting some tea, coffee, or just, calling a friend, go for it and see how that goes for 3 hours. Because that's, if a Pomodoro is like 25-minute study, 5-minute break, that's 30 minutes, right? So 3 hours, that's 6 cycles of that. So you're studying for 25 minutes and a 5-minute break, repeating it 5 more times after. If that sounds doable to you, I'd say do it and see how that goes. Stray says, I completed N4 and changed instant YouTube Japanese. There are still some kanjis I don't know, but I'm learning. That is great. Good on you. That is a really important step, and that is awesome that you're doing that. Extracted so much extra content. I am glad. Yes, you guys did. You guys pulled this stream out. I was planning to end it. Never, actually. I was planning to end it once I was done answering questions, but they keep coming. I've been listening to VTuber streams while I do stuff. That is great. Do you have any favorite VTubers? I've been watching Miku. I do like Miku. Miko from HoloLive. She's pretty funny. There's a lot of funny fan animations of her, too. Bro, still online. Gotta respect that. Yeah, gotta answer the questions. Gotta make sure that people leave satisfied. Thank you for your response, man. I appreciate it. No problem. Yeah, got you. Who's your favorite J-pop artist? Oh my god. I don't know if this counts as, well, okay, not like idol, because I don't really get much into the idol things, but Deco 27. It's pretty good. They made a monitor ring or like doorbell ring. They do a lot of stuff with Miku. And then also Crazy Nuts. Is it Crazy Nuts? Dude, I don't know why I'm blanking on the name. They made the opening for Dun Dun Dun. Creepy Nuts, not Crazy Nuts. Oh my gosh. Creepy Nuts. They're pretty cool. I like their stuff. Their lyrics are pretty great. Yes, thank you. That's such an embarrassing loss of aura right there. I apologize. Yeah, there's a lot. Like my Spotify likes, I should probably make it public just so you guys can kind of see my taste. But it's like 80% small, like Japanese indie bands, because I just like the kind of like chill, different sounds they take from, Japan and also like America. I can talk about this all night, but like, yeah. In terms of more popular people, like Deco 27, Miku, and then Creepy Nuts. Yeah, just like the classics. Yeah, I'll probably make my Spotify public or put together a playlist so you guys can kind of get some recommendations. But yeah, where do you take the JLPT anyway? So I've taken it every time in Arkansas. So that was a good couple hours of driving for me. So I might take it this winter for N1, or I might wait till next year. Either way, y'all let me know. If you guys take it in America, would love to do a little meetup. If you guys ever take it up in Arkansas, I'll probably keep going there. So just let me know. That'd be pretty cool. How about studying like 5 units, like Mina no Nihongo and only grammar, then taking breaks? I think that's great. Yeah. I mean, because for me, honestly, if you're immersing and it's content that's like pretty chill and you're enjoying it, like I feel like you're able to study / immerse for longer, right? Because you're just like, for me, you're just watching YouTube videos, you're watching anime, and even if you don't understand most of it and you're still like kind of studying the dialogue, like it's anime, it's TV, like it's still entertainment content. Like no one made textbooks so you could sit there and flip the pages and be like, ooh, this is fun, I'm having a good time. No, but they make anime, they animate, they film shows in Japanese so you can have a laugh and enjoy them, right? So yeah, but for like actual studying, Pomodoro timers are really good for specifically studying. That's what they were made for, and it helps you with productivity. So I think it is technically more geared towards actual study. With immersion, you can do the same thing, but I would do that more for like Anki and textbook study. This K-Sound is my fave. My Oshi's Okayu. But I've heard Flare is really good for learners. Oh. Are you planning on doing anime dialogue breakdown stream? That's a great idea. Yeah, I'll reiterate kind of what I've stated before some people hopped on this stream. So I would like to do play Japanese games with me streams where I break down the dialogue from video games. Would also like to do watch Japanese with me where I break down dialogue from YouTube videos, and also live streams, vlogs, and anime and dramas. And also there's study Japanese with me, so that's just doing Anki card reps, maybe looking at some textbooks or doing practice exams. And then, yeah, just immerse with me. So that might just be more free flow, less extensive dialogue breakdown. So you guys can also mute my stream and kind of do your own immersion along the way. But those are some ideas I have. If you guys have any other recommendations, please go ahead and feel free to drop some recommendations in the chat or over in the Discord. Bro loves crazy nuts. You know I'm crazy about the crazy nuts. Yeah. American snacks or Japanese? Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. You got me like in gridlock here. Okay, let me think about this. Japanese snacks. You also need to define a snack, right? Because I can go to the convenience store and get like negitoro or like famichiki, like just like literally fried chicken from convenience stores, and it's like the most scrumdiddly umptious thing in the world. So I don't know what you mean by snacks, unless we're thinking about like just okashi, like bags of like chips and like candies. So if you let me know kind of what you're aiming for there, I will come back to that. I want to look at some other questions. Do I need to go to Arkansas to do it? No, you can go anywhere in the states that is a testing location. So in terms of the central area, there's Arkansas, there's Houston. You can go out to, oh my gosh, there's another place. I'm sorry. I'm going to be honest. That's probably the only two I'm familiar with because that's kind of near where I had been. And that's only in the winter. If you want to take summer exams, you're going to have to do it abroad overseas, places like Japan. You should make socials for YouTube channels so people don't pretend to be you as you get more popular. Oh my gosh, I didn't think about that. That is a good point. Yeah, I'll probably go ahead and make an Insta. And what else are people on these days? I guess X/Twitter. Those are probably the main two I need to make, I'd imagine. I don't think I want to make a Facebook. I mean, let's be honest. Facebook is dead. Maybe I shouldn't say that. I mean, my parents still use it. Bro, can you talk a little bit about what other activities you do, like hobbies or something, and how you find balance in your daily basis? That is a really great question, and I'd be happy to do that. So, for my job, I work full-time as a cybersecurity analyst. So, it takes a lot of work. Sometimes I get calls in the middle of the night to go fix something, which is fun. So, yeah, that's for work. And for hobbies, so studying Japanese is one, right? I also like working out. If you can't tell, nah, I'm just kidding. But I do like working out. It's a good way to relieve stress, and yeah, I also like to edit YouTube videos. I'm a content creator, so I'll make maybe some of you are familiar with. I do weekly long form videos, and I do daily YouTube shorts, Japanese word of the day, as well as Japanese quizzes on my channel. So that's a good way I spend most of my time, as well as talking to people on Discord. Other hobbies, I really like cooking. I haven't been doing it as much recently, but it might be fun to do a little cooking stream where I speak only in Japanese or we follow a Japanese recipe. But yeah, I also like traveling, and I mean, yeah, and finding balance. I mean, it really comes down to when my shift's over at work, I try to leave. Like that's it. That's it for me. So what kind of happens there? Let me make sure. Oh, my camera is in focus. Okay, good. Just making sure. When I leave work at 5, I come home. I hit the gym, and then I come back. I've got rice cooking. I've got my dinner ready. I'll come sit down and record a YouTube video, or just edit, or study Japanese. So I kind of take that time at night outside of the gym, because I think health is really crucial. It's really good for your, just physically and mentally, it's really good. And emotional health is important. But outside of that, what I'll do is I get those hours. I'm like, okay, I'm done with the gym at like 6:30 or 7, and I gotta sleep at like midnight at the latest, right? So that gives me, like, let's just say, 5.5 hours. So that means I got an hour and a half for dinner, so there's 4 hours left. So maybe I will play with the boys, relax for an hour. Then I got 3 more hours. So I'll take an hour to film, and then maybe an hour to edit. Then I got an hour to study at night. And all the while I'm doing this, I might be having a Japanese video on in the background, and then I'll really actively get in there and watch and study. So, yeah, I would say that's kind of how I split it up. Save your questions for the next stream. No, it's okay. I'm having fun. Have you ever been to Japan? I've been 4 times. First time was winning, coming in top 3 at the National Quiz Bowl, Japan Bowl competition. And yeah, so we got to win a free trip to Japan for 2 weeks. Studied there at a little language school for like 2 weeks, which, I mean, you can imagine 2 weeks of studying. That did like nothing for me. Second time I went, same reason. I did go to the national competition with my team. And yeah, that time was for a month, and I got to do the homestay. Then I came back again in college, and I did a study abroad at Waseda University for a month. And then the other 2 months around that, because for Americans, if we go there, it's like a 90-day visa, a tourist visa. I got the most out of that because it was like $2,000 for tickets. So yeah, I went ahead and just copped the tickets and stayed there for 90 days. And then most recently, I went in the winter. And this is when my Japanese was the best it's ever been up to that point. So I got my international driver's license. So I was able to, like, I rented a car, got to travel and drive around like Hokkaido, went snowboarding. I actually busted my lip there, which wasn't as fun. But yes, I got to speak Japanese with like a busted lip, and they could still understand me. So I thought I did pretty good. Yeah, I got to go all around. I've been all the way down to Fukuoka as well, down in Kyushu area. So that was pretty nice. I've been kind of all over. But yeah, it was a beautiful country. Thank you, man. Yeah, no problem. I'm late. Sam the Ripper, the legend. All of you guys are legends. Just welcome to the party, Sam. You're all good. I keep trying to close the stream so these wonderful viewers can go enjoy their evenings or mornings or days, but they keep asking questions. They keep coming back for more. But welcome. What is your favorite place to eat in Japan? Oh my gosh. Okay. All right. Oh my gosh. I'm like replaying all of the restaurants I've been to in Japan. Okay, Ichiran is like a staple. I think a lot of ramen lovers in the chat are gonna know what this is, but Ichiran is a pretty popular ramen joint in Japan. I highly recommend if you get ramen in Japan to ask for katamen, which is like the noodles. They're more undercooked, so they're a little bit chewier, a little harder. And then at Ichiran, you can order extra garlic, and you can crush the garlic and put it in your ramen. I'm a fiend for garlic. It tastes so good. So that's what I'll go for. There's also a lot of like katsuya. There's like a pork and chicken katsu restaurants over rice. That's always good. There's also really good gyudon places. Where is it? Yoshinoya. Oh my gosh, dude. I swear, if you have a long day in Japan and you're just walking around, you're starving. If you go for just like a stamina bowl at Yoshinoya, it's so good. There's also Yakiniku Life, and you can sit down there at your own stall, order some meat, and cook it right there. Put your sauces on. It's delicious. Gyukaku is also good. It's another meat place. Also, if you go in the downtown area, stop calling me viewer. You know who you are. Yeah, if you go downtown, and I know downtown means a lot of places, but like in the Akihabara area or even Shinjuku, there's a lot of hot pot places that are pretty nice. And yeah, if you go over up north to Tohoku, or like Morioka, they're known for wanko soba. Is it wanko soba? I think that's what it's called. It's you've probably seen these challenges where, dang, that was a tragic voice crack. They have these bowls, and it's like a drop of noodles with some sauce, and you eat it, and then they take your bowl and they give you another one, and you eat it, and you do this like as many times as you possibly can as a challenge. Some people will eat over 100 bowls of this stuff. I mean, because it's just such little food. But I haven't done it yet. I've always wanted to, though. And then if you're in the Hokkaido northern region, all right, yeah, I'm gonna yap on about this if you guys are fine with it. But in Hokkaido, we drove down to from Sapporo down to Niseko, Hirafu, and down along that road, there's just like a lot of cities near the coast that are pretty nice. So some of them do like candied fruits. Others had really good like seafood, honestly. So if you're ever in Hokkaido, just that stretch from Sapporo to Niseko, just like on like this sort of south coast, there's really good seafood. If you're ever in Sapporo, you can get kani ramen, which is just crab ramen. And in Fukuoka or Kyushu, in that area, they've just got good ramen in general. If you get ramen down there, you're gonna be like fiending for more. And conveyor belt restaurants, yes, the kaiten sushi. Oh my gosh, honestly, it's way better than America, because in America, for me, they have like the Texas roll, right, at like kurazushi, where it's a perfectly fine piece of sushi, but then they put all this tempura crunch and sauce and cream cheese and all this stuff on it, and it's just like, it's like 10% sushi, 90% toppings, and it's just really sad. The fish there in Japan is also way more fresh, and you can do like omakase, which is where you have the chef kind of prep for you like onigiri and sushi, and you don't really tell them what you want. Well, you kind of do, but they make the dishes for you. You don't explicitly order. Man, it's so good. So cheap. It's so fresh. Yeah, that's really like been the main places. Also, just like go-go curry and cocoa curry. They have like a champion curry that you do. I think a go-go curry. So my friends and I would do that. Yeah, also Negitoro. So convenience store food, or even just going to like supermarkets and getting like their fresh meals there. It's been pretty nice. But yeah. Can you please tell me the name of the Japanese font used in the thumbnail? Sure. Yes, I actually just made this thumbnail the other night, just for you guys. Naganoshi. I'll put it in chat. That's the name of the font that I used. So, yeah, thanks for the recommendation. Yeah, no problem. Okay, we're back up to almost 20 viewers. Guys, come on. I also realized chat. I guess the live chat's not updating here as fast. Oh, there we go. Yeah. That's pretty much all I have. I mean, you guys can ask away about Japan or Japanese, you know, more, but I mean, beyond that, it's, you know, there's only so much knowledge I have in my smooth brain for you guys tonight, so yeah. Bro's never escaping stream. You might be right. We might be stuck here. Yeah. I might be stuck. It's a vibe. I do enjoy this. Many of you may or may not know this about me, but my social battery drains throughout the day. I'm not super extroverted, but like this kind of stuff's nice because we're just hanging out. We're talking. This doesn't really drain me. Like, it's really cool to have people from all over the world just kind of hanging out here, just yapping about whatever was on our minds. Didn't know you were doing a subathon. All right, bro. Listen now. No. No. I know we had a viewer earlier who was kind enough to become a backer for the channel, which is great. I do appreciate the monetary support, but don't feel pressured to sub. Go spend your money on some Panda Express, a nice coffee, literally anything that makes you happy. And if for some reason giving money to a stranger online makes you happy, I mean, I can't tell you no, but seriously, there's probably better things to spend your money on. Like Migaku. This stream spot. I'm just kidding. But yeah. All right, let's see what else we got in the chat. Your stream was fun to watch, though. Oh, okay. Appreciate it. Yeah, I want to do more of these. It's not that I'm running out of ideas for long form videos, but I found that the only way I get to connect with you guys is through the comments and the occasional, messages and joins in Discord. I want to do something more interactive because I'm trying, like I said in my response earlier to someone's comment, I'm trying to build a positive learning community from the ground up. I'm not trying to blow up, make a bunch of money, and just like be a one-hit wonder. I really do want to, I do really want to make sure that you guys feel included here and feel a nice legitimate connection with each other and myself in this community. Just want to be really positive here. So yeah, glad you're enjoying the stream though. Do you prefer visiting villages or cities in Japan? That is a great question. And I would say even for me, it's more, do I prefer like the inaka, like the countryside? And that's probably what you meant, or the city. And I would say for my first time there, it was definitely, I preferred the city, right? Because like, imagine all you know about anime is like, anime. See, I'm already thinking about it. All you know about Japan is like the anime. You see people hanging out in like the McDonald's and going to like the arcades and hanging out on the school rooftops. And you see like Tokyo, all the lights, the taxis, and you're like, wow, that's the big city. I want to go there. So you land in Japan, you walk out of the airport, you take your taxi, and it's like, whoa, look at all these lights. Look at all these arcades. Look at this karaoke. Look at these bars. This is amazing. And you can't get enough of it. And there's so many people and so many chances to speak Japanese. It's great. So the first 2 times I went there, I guess, yeah, the second time I did a study abroad, a homestay way out in the countryside. So that was my first experience with the country. And so when that happened, it was so quiet out there. I was like the only non-Japanese person in that town, and everyone was staring at me and trying to talk to me. And I didn't speak Japanese that well at the time, but yeah, that was like really nice. So yeah, and then when I came back my third time, I studied abroad in Tokyo at Waseda, but I kept trying to make my way out of the town, and I found that was a lot of fun for me. My fourth trip, I followed up on that and actually went out to Near Mount Fuji, there was a Kawaguchiko. That's what the town was called. If you want to look it up, Kawaguchiko. But just right off the lake, like small cottages. There was like 1 or 2 restaurants in the area from where I stayed, from like walking distance, and that was it. And maybe a Lawson if you walked another mile. But yeah, that was fun. The more quiet life, when there's not really a lot of tourists, it really put in perspective just like how quiet it was. And there's not that much to do other than like go on walks, enjoy the nature, go to the local family-owned restaurants, and talk to the owners and some other customers in there. And it's like, they're so open to talk to you, because it's like, oh, there's this like dude from America, and we can kind of talk in Japanese. This is crazy. So yeah, I recently found, okay, so like, long story short, I'm really sorry, but I preferred the city first, and once they got my fill, going out and exploring the more rural areas of Japan and like interacting with people there more, because I find it's easier to connect, was really nice. I do like that kind of slow, easygoing life over there. Dang, we hit 3,500. Nice. 3,500. Oh, that's great. I was trying to hit that today. Let's go. 3,500 subscribers and many more to come. We are building an army of fluent gaijin. This is the goal. Have you ever studied abroad? Just trying to find why you learn Japanese. Yeah, I guess, yeah, I just read that, but I did touch on that. I studied abroad for my first 2 times, for 2 weeks the first time, then a month for like kind of like language school. And then the third time was at Waseda for a month. The reason I studied was my second time there, I had a host family who I could barely speak Japanese. And it was really frustrating because I had so many things I wanted to say to them. I wanted to thank them for the hospitality. I wanted to, just like small talk and make jokes. So I studied a little bit more because it was really frustrating after I went home. And I came back after saving up money, and I got to talk to them. And that felt so good. So having that conversation with like people who cared for me, who I lived with and I previously couldn't talk to, I now kind of like, I call one of them my okasan, like my mom. Like we're really close. Like it's a second family. It put a smile on both of our faces when we were able to just sit down and talk about our days in Japanese. That's what kind of kept me motivated, I guess. Love your videos, been super helpful. What are the highest impact study activities that that you would make sure happen even when you were super busy? Yeah, early on, if you're learning new words, like just purely studying, getting those reps in. A lot of people are saying like, oh, is doing Anki reps or like flashcard reps really like the way to go? And I think early on, if you're trying to just brute memorize stuff, yes, because once you get front load all of that good memory. Sorry, give me 1 second. I like this music, but the song's a little hectic for my taste. Yeah, we're gonna go back here. Something a bit more calm for you guys. Okay, yeah, so I would say one thing I did early on was making sure that I did my flashcards or like use my Quizlet or Anki or whatever it was at the time, or even reading a little bit on grammar every day. Because that way early on, no matter how busy I was, even if I wasn't increasing my vocabulary, I was still maintaining it. And now at this stage, I would say that I'm pretty comfortable. I would say my vocab count's honestly around 12,000. So I have a lot to learn, but every day I still try to make, even if I'm busy, maybe 1 to 2 hours of immersion. And that can be like, if I'm at work, I'll literally have a YouTube video playing with my headphones on, because I'm in IT. No one comes to my cubicle to bother me that often. So I'll just have the headphones on, listening to Japanese and be working. So honestly, no matter how busy you are, whatever stage you're at, just try to interact with Japanese for, as much as you can. But don't burn yourself out. That would be my advice in general. W plug, got you. Is it worth doing Migaku versus the free alternative? Depends on your money and how you want to go about studying. If you're not at the stage where you can immerse yet, Migaku does still have a free course. I would say, well, not really free. No, I think you still have to be a member for that. But they have a course where they teach you the first, I believe it's 2,000. I don't actually want to oversell this. But they do have a free course where they teach you at least 1,000 of the most common Japanese words to get you kickstarted on your immersion journey. So that's really good. They have pitch accent practices. And then, of course, you can mine sentences, which you can do with free tools. It just requires a little more setup. I actually have a video on this on my channel if you want to go the free route. So, yeah. So I think in terms of it, Migaku, if they were both free, I would definitely go with Migaku. But if money is an issue for you, yeah, I mean, go watch my tutorial video, get you set up super easily. You can go do the same thing for free. But I still wholly back, Migaku. I think it's a great tool. I think for the price you're paying, it's really worth it. And I can see myself using it until if I ever finish studying Japanese, which I don't know if that'll happen if I'll truly be done with Japanese, but I mean, I enjoy the tool. Kind of gamifies it for me. So I think better kind of depends on your perspective on things and kind of how if you have the time to set up the tools for free and you have the time to deal with that and use Anki, then I would go for it. All right, let's see what else we got here. Kaguchiko is so amazing. I was there in autumn and the scenery and the lakes were amazing. Yes. I've been spitballing with my friends. I'm like, guys, we should buy a house there. Like me and 5 buddies, we should just get a place there and just live there. But yeah. How did you get a homestay? Did you have to apply or something? Yeah, so this was in high school. I don't know how many of you guys have this. I don't know. I think it might just be in the US, but it's called Japan Bowl. So essentially there's this organization that sets up these sort of quiz bowl style competitions on the Japanese language, history, or culture. And then what will happen there is you get with your team, you study, and there's different levels, right? So there's first years, second and third years. The rules are you can't be a native Japanese citizen, and I think that's it. And Japanese can't be your native language or whatever. So it does kind of level the playing ground because it's only people who've studied Japanese. But I digress. So if you do well enough in the competition, you qualify for nationals. And then if you do well enough in nationals, you qualify for a free trip to Japan. So, yeah, after that happened, my team and I, we grinded hard. There's even a part where you converse with the judges. They'll ask you about your breakfast or what you had or what your favorite animes are, which, that went about as decent as it could go. But yeah, we qualified for a free trip the first year we did it, and that's how I did that 2 weeks. And so for that study abroad, they just put us all in a language school after we signed some forms. And yeah, it was actually at the same place the Olympians stayed for the Tokyo Olympics, so that was pretty interesting. The rooms are so tiny, dude. It was enough room for a mattress and a tiny desk in the corner. It was crazy, a single mattress. Yeah, second time around was the same deal. We did good enough at second year, so we got to actually go stay for a month, and I did a homestay for that. And you did have to sign into a program and get matched with a homestay, but you had to do the homestay. And yeah, you were partnered up with someone. So it was me and this other guy. We'll call him Moses. But that was a lot of fun. So we got to go up, travel to the country together. So yeah, if you're still in high school and you're in America, I mean, I don't know, and you have a Japanese teacher, this is probably narrowing it down quite a bit, but go ask your teacher about Quiz Bowl or look into it. It's really cool. Or there's also a lot of cool programs online you can just sign up for on a whim. Yeah. Riding your bike around town, best memory in Japan. That is so true. I actually rented bikes from a cafe. I wonder if we rented from the same place. It was a coffee shop that I rented bikes from at Kaguchiko. Went across the bridge and around the lake. So that was fun. I heard "Door akete hora." Can you please quickly explain the meaning of hora? Yeah, so "Door o akete," please open the door. Hora is more like a interjection where it's hey, it's really aggressive here. So it's sort of if I had to translate to English, I'd put the hora at the beginning and be hey, hey, you open the door. Right? If I take the hora out, it would just sound hey, please open the door. But here it's hey, please, hey, now, open the door. It's more aggression. I don't mean to yell at you guys, I'm sorry. But yeah, it's more of a conjunction, But hora can also mean, hey, look here. So take it as you will. It's just kind of more strengthening that part that comes before it. I lived in Ohio my whole life in a rural area, so I love being surrounded by nature. Do you think I should do a study abroad in a rural area? I think that's a really, really good question. If you're more suited to rural areas and you're not too attracted to the big lights and gigantic cities like Nagoya or Tokyo, in Japan, I mean, I even say, dude, if you studied in in Kyoto, that would be a good spot if you're trying to look for something in between. But yeah, for rural areas, I would go for it. If you want to experience that country life, I will say, if you're coming to Japan as a means of looking for more stuff to do, you're going to be relying a lot more on making like friends with like your Japanese like co-students and people living around you to like spend time and do stuff, versus like if you were in Tokyo, for example, or even Nagoya. Like you can't go out and go get chicken wings or go to like Torikizoku, which is a pretty good bar, by the way. It's like a pub with like meat skewers, but Torikizoku. You can't go like get drunk and like go party. I don't want to assume the age of like most people in this chat. You may or may not be of drinking age, but I'm just kind of speaking from personal experience. But yeah, you may or not be, oh my goodness, English is so hard. You may or may not be able to do certain things that otherwise you could do if you were in a bigger city. So just kind of think about that. Look at people's reviews of like their Japan trips and see what they did on their itineraries, and see like, would I really be missing out there, or am I fine with like going to like the countryside? But yeah. Okay, thanks for the Setsume. Yeah, no problem. Would you say visual novels are suitable for studying? I enjoy reading them, and I'm also studying the language. Yes, honestly, I would say that they're suitable. Now, I actually started Angel Beats recently on visual novels, so that's been fun. I want to go play again through Doki Doki Literature Club in Japanese. I think you have to get Doki Doki Literature Club Plus. I think that's the only one that has a Japanese translation. So if anyone knows the game I'm talking about, shout out to you. But yeah. Yeah, I would say they're effective, especially because there's tools like text hookers that you can look up, and also Yomi Ninja. I've covered this in some of my previous videos, but you can literally like launch the text hooker at the same time as your visual novel, and like there's a drop down menu, and so you can like choose your app, and as it goes, it'll like save the text to a file, so you can like later on when you're done playing, you can scroll through all the text that popped up on your screen while you're playing the visual novel, and like save it to Anki, mind the words, look them up. So yeah, I'd say it's pretty helpful. Doki Doki Literature Club is goated. Thank you. Is English your first language? Yes, it is. Angel Beats is classic. Doki Doki Literature Club is great too. Yes. Yeah. Man, I think I played Doki Doki last time when I was in high school. My friend put me on it. It was middle school. I don't remember what it was, but I remember my friend putting me on it. I was like, what a wholesome game. I went into it fully blind, so I won't try to spoil it too much here if someone here's looking to play it and hasn't yet, but it's really good. So would highly recommend checking it out. Machine translation is super accessible. It's great. That is good. Yeah. It's all about accessibility, really, because the more accessible all of the tools are for your studying, I mean, the easier it feels, which is what you want. I might do Kyoto just because it's smaller than Tokyo and Osaka, though I want to be by more hiking spots. Yeah, Kyoto's great. There's a lot of hikes there. It's hilly, but there are some flat areas that go over like rivers, and there's bridges. And I find if you go in the summer, like a lot of shops have really good ice cream, especially like matcha flavor. They have a lot of good matcha in Kyoto. I'm sure a lot of you may be familiar with that. So it's a pretty cool spot. Yeah, I don't know what you guys prefer for your seasons, like what season you visit Japan. But if I do go in the summer, I always get oh my gosh. Why am I blanking on it? Hiyashi men, which is like a chilled ramen. Usually it's like ground pork, some cucumbers, tomatoes, noodles, and like a nice sweet vinegary sauce on like ice cold noodles in the summer, which is like, that hits hard. It also kakigori, like Japanese shaved ice, is really good. So yeah, if you guys ever want any like Japan travel tips or like have any questions, let me know. I mean, I'm sure there's people here who've traveled more than me, but I've been quite around Japan, so I've even driven there, which was scary. I almost got in a car wreck pulling out of the rental lot, but maybe that's a story for another day. But yeah, so if you guys ever have any questions or even recommendations for me, because I'm probably going to go in this winter, let me know. Let me know. Yeah. Gosh. You know, I was closing off the stream about an hour ago. I really didn't expect all these wonderful people, all these nice chats, these questions, all the support from you guys. It's been really fun. So I hope to do more like these. Maybe every 2 weeks would be nice. Gotta see if the camera can handle it. It's been heating up. So the camera might shut off soon. It's cool to see the community dealing with similar situations and desires. I wish you all the best in your Japanese journey. I agree. Yeah. I hope everyone, no matter where you are in your Japanese learning journey, that it's going well. And, you know, I see your chat, Derek. No rush. You don't need to type too fast. I'll answer it. But yeah, just seriously, it's, man, it feels really good to just like have all these people who have the similar experiences, like you said. It's cool to have people to talk to about this kind of stuff. I want to be honest, like, I won't really talk too much about where I live, but there's no Japanese language community where I'm at. Like, it's all online. So, you know, it's really good to have people to talk to about. All right, Derek, we're all waiting for... I'm just kidding. No. Yeah, I'll hang out here for a few more minutes, and then I'll close the stream, because I think my camera's giving off a temperature warning. Would you consider working in Japan in IT? I'm considering, but I don't feel prepared. I'm currently N2. Not that good with my output, though. Great question. So I actually work... I don't know if you're here earlier. Oh, my gosh. Sorry about that. Let me just get some water. So much talking, you know? All right. I work as a cybersecurity analyst. And I also have an N2 certification. So it seems like kind of a similar boat. I don't know if I'd work in Japan in IT personally. Now, this only, I don't want you to have this influence your decision too much. It's only because I've been there so many times as a tourist, and I've had Japanese friends complain about their full-time jobs. But then again, in America, we complain about our full-time jobs all the time. So that might just be a stigma. I think as long as you don't end up in a black kigyo, which is a black company, which means the company overworks you and they treat you very badly, but on paper it looks good, you need to avoid those, by the way. But yeah, I would consider working there. Like, if I could partner with like a company there, like let's just say Migaku somehow, or even made enough money off of ad revenue and affiliates on YouTube to do this full time, I maybe go to Japan, because then one, my Japanese would get better, be able to make better content and such. But you know, I'm getting off course here. In IT, I would consider looking into it. If you have any Japanese companies in your area or contacts, reach out to them. I think Glassdoor, that's what I use in America to like see what people's reviews are of certain companies in the States. Maybe they do the same thing in Japan. So yeah, because like what I would say, honestly, just apply, start doing some interviews and see how those go, because you could probably get a job. I mean, I know of people who have an N2 degree, oh my gosh, N2 certification, but their jobs don't really let them use that much Japanese. They're actually like the English person in the office, so they deal with more like English customers. So in IT, for example, maybe you have people bring in requests and tickets, but they're from Australia or America or Europe, so they're going to be more like geared towards English speakers, so they're going to want to call, and you're going to have to support them over the phone in English, but you're there because you know some Japanese and you can understand directions from your manager that are given to you in Japanese. So I wouldn't let that sort of language barrier stop you, especially with like output. I would honestly just give it a shot. If you want to try to make the jump there, then go for it. Worst case, you think, I'm here in Japan working, but it's not for me. Then, I mean, you're on a visa. Just tell your job, you know, hey guys, bye. And then just go back to where you're from, you know, and you tried it. You can say you tried it. So yeah, that's my thoughts. Hopefully that answers your question. I run 1.4k words right now, and well, it's summer break, so that means I have hours of free time. Should I start immersing? You can. I think 1.4 is a good sweet spot. A lot of people say you should wait till 3k to make it easier, but if you've got all this free time to immerse, you can pivot from studying words by themselves around the 1k to 1.5k mark and just start immersing. I would still maybe recommend keeping your dictionary in English. Maybe. And once you reach around 3,000 words, you can start thinking about making like a monolingual transition. But yeah, if you got all that free time, I'd honestly recommend, start immersing. The best time to start was yesterday, and the second best time to start is today. So why not start today? All right. Along with that, the only thing I'm watching is Tears of Kingdom with Migaku. I need a motivation to immerse for hours. Very good taste. I'm chronically online, so I could immerse for like 500 hours. That would be crazy. That would be good, as long as you don't burn yourself out and overdo it. That is the most important part. All right. I'm setting a timer for 2 minutes because if there are no questions within that, I will end the stream. You guys, if you scroll up enough in the chat, you're gonna see a chat's like, no, you hang up, no, you. I'm here to make sure your questions are answered, but I'm also here to make sure you guys go enjoy the rest of your day and aren't chronically online. And the view just jumped up to 18. Okay, love your content, man. Thank you, Dozy. Appreciate it. I've seen you in the comments. Welcome. Yeah, we're about to end the stream here, but if you guys have any questions in the last 2 minutes, let me know. Oh my goodness. There we go. I'm trying to put the timer here. There we go. When do you think I should start sentence mining instead of just a pre-made deck? If your vocab count is around 1K at the earliest, I feel like that's when you should start mining. I started around the 3K mark because I got more comfortable with that, and I wasn't. You'll notice the earlier you start sentence mining, the faster. I'm pausing the timer. You guys are too fun to talk to. The sooner you start sentence mining, the more frequent your words are going to be that you look up. If you go like 3K in, and when I say 3K, I mean the 3,000 most common Japanese words, your lookups are going to be way, 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 way less frequent, so it'll feel a lot easier to immerse. So that'd be my opinion. I think you can go in on that. All right, give us a tip to get better at speaking. So I would do shadowing. So essentially, I think it's best to choose English. I think it's best to choose a shadowing partner. So for me, I found a YouTuber whose voice and the way he speaks and laughs is like, in Japanese, by the way, interesting. I think, I could see myself sounding like that. I think it's, just a general good vibes from him. So I watch his content mainly. I actually watch a lot of content, but when I choose to shadow, which means repeating after them, I will watch his content. And maybe it's not for that often, but maybe 5 to 20 minutes a week, I will sit down, watch one of his videos, and maybe even slow it down and repeat after him. I will do, I would make sure to repeat after his enunciation, his pitches, his words, the way he pauses after certain words in his sentences. Yeah, so, I think it's pretty useful. And on top of that, be more aware of pitch accent. I actually have a recent video, this is how you get fluent in Japanese. This is what makes you sound native. So check out that video if you want. I actually covered the 4 different pitch accent patterns in that video, more in depth. And once you get trained to listen to those, you'll know kind of more like how to make your voice go up and down when you speak Japanese. In terms of getting more confident with output, you just got to do it. So if you go on like disboard.com, you can find other like English x Japanese language exchange servers to make friends, or even go get HelloTalk. I will admit I've had some experience with some questionable people on HelloTalk, but that's what the block button's for. So but if you want to avoid that, I recommend sticking to Discord. There's a lot of good communities on there, including ours, so check that in the description if you want to join our Discord. But yeah, so that's probably my tips. This week I'm starting my journey with Migaku. Excited to get my first deck started. Your videos have really motivated me. Happy to hear that. Let me know how it goes. I love Migaku. I know that I'm sponsored / affiliated with them, but like I said, it's probably the only tool I'm ever going to sponsor affiliate because it's honestly something I've been loving, and I can see it becoming something very big and crucial in the future. Who is your shadow? That's a secret. Is it? Should it be a secret? Okay. I guess not. It doesn't really matter because maybe it'll switch down the line. Either way, it's Pucky. Pucky. So he does a lot of gaming videos. I'll throw him in chat. I don't want to gatekeep. I hate doing that. And he's honestly really good. If you just look this up on YouTube in Japanese, and then you're gonna think of the Pocky snacks, but no, it's pretty good. The Pocky snacks are good, and his YouTube videos are even better. So, yeah. What? I'm like dragging the wrong things on my stream. Well, great. Now my stream's all messed up. All right, let's just get rid of the timer. All right. Let's see here. Are you teaching Japanese? No, I don't feel confident enough to teach Japanese. I don't think. The thing is that I can understand most Japanese content that's, you know, like daily life, slice of life anime, and some specialized like detective and horror stuff. And I passed the JLPT N2 for context, but I don't know enough to explicitly explain like transitive, intransitive verbs, godon verbs, conjugations, the different like tenses, potential verb stems, all this stuff. Like I don't think I feel comfortable, and I personally like, I think it's great to follow along textbooks early on if that's your jam, but if I were to teach like a Japanese class, I would definitely like make it more immersion focused, and I feel like that wouldn't be as accepted in, you know, in today's society. But yeah, I just don't feel like like I feel like parents would be calling me and be like, "You made my kid watch 2 hours of Bleach today. How are they gonna learn?" And it's like, I don't know. Yeah, I don't know if I could ever really be able to handle all that stress of parents yelling at me. So I haven't really immersed before, and like everything sounds like gibberish. Do I just keep immersing to like fix that? Though I do hear words that I have studied. That's good. I mean, to essentially fix that, what you're gonna want to do is, I mean, what content are you immersing in, really? Because, Derek, you were the one who said you had 1.4K. Yeah, that's the thing. With 1,400 words under your belt, which is still a crazy good amount, that is really impressive, and you've come far. Like, don't put yourself down. I would say you need to go look at like websites like JPDB, which is really good. I know. My chat's got me at gunpoint. They keep asking questions. I'm sorry, cooldown. I know. I was trying to end this like an hour ago because I want you guys to go enjoy your days or nights or mornings. Yeah. So if you go to JPDB, you can look at their anime database, which is nice, and I think they have some like live movies and some YouTube videos on there. But you can sort it by difficulty and also vocab count. So there's some YouTube videos that just only have like 300 easy words in them. So I would say reevaluate kind of like what content you're watching compared to your vocab count. And this part's gonna maybe suck a little bit, but kicking it down to a couple notches to some easier content where you can understand most of it, and then that's gonna only like, not only is it gonna like be comprehensible, it's gonna train your ear to know what those words sound like that you already know, spoken in a fast context, right? So that's really helpful. And then as you do that, you can ramp it up because your vocab count's going to go up. The content you watch is going to get more complex, and less of it will sound like gibberish. So that is my advice to you. I do hope that helps. And like you said, you hear words you're studying. As you do that, you're going to study more and more words, and you're going to hear those words pop up more in context. So you'll get to learn them through immersion. That's how it's done. But yeah, you ordered Shigansai Master for N3. Nice. I actually used it for N2. That was pretty helpful. So that's good. Yeah, if you're going to do actual explicit studying, I think that's pretty good. Especially if you're doing some test prep. You've seen Pocky's channel before? Yeah. He's awesome. I love his stuff. Really good vibes. I look forward to, I think he streams every Wednesday morning, but now that I'm working, I'm not able to watch that as much because I would get in trouble. We're enjoying them with you. Yeah. Glad you're having a good time here. Got 18 people. Okay. All right. Okay. Oh my gosh. What is this? I'm having fun. I just can't believe that I am even mildly interesting enough to keep people's attention for this long. Yeah, I might have overestimated it. Didn't care too much. Cheers, the Kingdom is too good though. That is true. Like honestly, I know a guy who mined and saved every unknown word he's ever seen in his Japanese immersion journey. I can't do that myself. Like, that's impressive. But if you have the guts and willpower and the time to stick that out, I mean, you're gonna be you're gonna be locked in. You're gonna be good. All right. You're right. I still gotta make dinner. You know what? Here's what we're gonna do. I'm gonna add something here just for you. Hold on. I have a really good idea. Gamen? No, window capture. Here we go. Chrome. Here we go. Where is it? You know what? We'll do this. I've started a timer. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. I don't know how to crop. Oh, wait, this is embarrassing. I feel like I should be able to hold Alt. You know what? This is a big mistake. You know what? We're just going to do this. This is the timer. That's chat. We got to have chat. There we go. And then I'll put my camera up here. And then I will bring myself here. There we go. That's good, right? All right. We have a timer going now. Counting down. I think this is what you guys should see on the stream. I'm staying here. I thought you were ending it, so I headed out. Well, here we are. Here we are. Can I do this? Yeah, I can do this. Okay. What was I? Oh yeah, there's chat. Okay. I want to make sure the stream looks good. Oh yeah, that does look good. That's lined up how I want it. Cool. Do you have any favorite kanji? Yes, I actually do. I did touch on this a little bit earlier, but it's Nagi, which is also the name of a Blue Lock character. So, yeah, I'm just gonna plop it into this window. This one. It means calm or lull, and it kind of refers to like the ocean, in a sense. It's used for I think boy and girl names in Japanese. Like if I somehow was reborn as a Japanese person, I probably have like Nagi be my name or something. But I don't know. It's cool. It's not a super complex kanji. Like I don't really, it doesn't appeal to me because of its complexity or simplicity. I just like the meaning. I like the nuance it gives off. But yeah. Okay. Cooking stream. Honestly, yeah. I've been thinking of doing a cooking stream where we follow along with like a Japanese recipe, and then we have to like the ingredients are in Japanese, the instructions are in Japanese, and we have to look and make sure we know every word, or else we ruin dinner and I go to bed hungry. So it might be fun. Yeah. What do you think about silence periods? Because that's what I'm thinking of doing. Can you elaborate on silence periods? Are you just kind of meaning like? Yeah, I guess I'm not really sure I follow. If you're talking about just periods where you stop studying and just kind of like let the Japanese sink in your head, but let me know. I'll come back to that. Kaylee says, what order of topics do you think is best to learn in? Like basic vocab and hiragana, katakana, then grammar. So I would recommend learning hiragana and katakana. Oh, silence periods. Oh, thank you, Cooldown, for clarifying. Kaylee, real quick, I'll touch on what you were saying, but I think hiragana and katakana, you should try to learn this up front as quickly as possible. If you do want to increase your vocabulary while you're doing that, you can actually study Japanese vocab using romaji, which is English letters. So for example, neko means cat. Instead of using the hiragana for that, I can just use neko on a flashcard and have cat on the other side. So even though I don't know how to read Japanese yet, I'm still increasing my vocabulary. Then when you know how to read Japanese, then you'll go back and you'll be reading hiragana for practice, and you'll see neko, and you're like, oh, that means cat. I already know that word. So yeah, that would be my recommended process. And then if you want to study some grammar explicitly, you can. I find, though, to just kind of get your vocab count up to around the 2,000 mark on average, and then skim through a grammar guide like Taikim or Sakubi, I think people have been saying. And through doing that, you can start to immerse using easy Japanese videos, stuff geared towards foreigners or low-level learners. I don't want to use the word low-level, but more just people who are getting into it. You can use JPDB. I put it up in the chat a bit further up. I'll put it again. JPDB.io. You can go there and check out a database of anime, TV shows, and books, and rank them by difficulty. And I would start immersing through there, picking up new words and vocab through there. And as your vocab goes up and up and up, look, grammar is just words as well. So as your words go up and up, you're gonna get more used to more intense grammar and more advanced content. Yeah, I have like 3 years to learn. So you think I should just immerse for hella hours and then try to speak? Oh, I see. Yeah, there's this stigma that like you need to wait until you speak Japanese or else you're going to develop bad habits. I would say this is true to an extent, but only like if you start speaking from day one or from like month one, then I can see that. I think I had this bad habit of just saying like nan desu ka, like but I added to the end of sentences. So like so nan desu ka. Like I had to sit in, I'm not gonna give too much context because you know, but I had to sit in with my Japanese boss one time when I worked somewhere, and he was like, "Hey, do you know stealing's bad?" And I was like, "Oh, so nan desu ka," which translates, instead of saying so desu ka, like, "Oh, is that so?" I was like, "Oh, now that you mention it, you're right. Yeah, stealing is bad." That's what I said because I added nan desu ka at the end. I didn't even think about it. It was just tacked on because I wanted to make my Japanese a longer sentence to sound better. So that was another conversation that stemmed from that. So be careful. Yeah, I would just mention, or I would recommend, if you have a phrase that sounds cool, I mean, yeah, memorize it, but don't make it part of your like the way you talk. Like you can say like te kanji, which means like that sort of thing, or yeah. But yeah, I don't want to stress y'all out. I'm gonna stop the timer again. I just want to answer the questions we got here. But yeah, I would say if you have 3 years to learn, I would immerse for the first couple of months. Maybe practice output through shadowing and studying pitch accent if you want to work on your pronunciation. And that way also through shadowing, your brain and mouth are going to be like, oh, like when God particles are said, it's usually talking about this thing and that. You'll get a better idea of how to actually construct Japanese sentences because your brain's kind of picking apart all the stuff during the immersion process. So yeah, I don't think you have to wait like a year or two before outputting, but I would wait maybe 6 months on average, but it really depends on kind of how you're studying and how you feel. I don't think there's any harm. And also, if you get a language partner or some Japanese friend you can talk to who's down to correct you here and there, I mean, that's also super helpful. Do you listen to any Japanese music? Yes, 90% of my Spotify likes are Japanese. I was telling people I'm probably going to publish like a playlist that I have of just like my favorite Japanese music. So I listen to like Deco 22, Creepy Nuts, a lot of indie Japanese bands. One I listen to that's a bit, maybe you guys might know, they're called Lamp. Like they're just Lamp. They're pretty good. They make good music. But yeah. Hey, it's the guy. Yes. I don't know if I'm the guy, but I am a guy. And I am on camera right now talking to 20 people who need to go eat their food, go live their days, go enjoy. I hope I've answered all of your questions. Lamp is great. Yes. Thank you, Cooldown. A man of good taste. Still on. Yes, AJ. There's always some questions. Same. I've been doing a lot of J-Rock recently. Very nice, Brendan. That's really good taste. You have to share some of your band recommendations. Yeah. Yoneza Kenshi is the GOAT. Ooh. No way you listen to them, Cooldown. Are you serious? You're like the second person I've met that actually listens to Kinoko no Teikoku. That's insane. What? Okay. Yes, I listened to them. Wow. I'm sorry. I'm just so surprised. Oh my gosh. Same. Okay. Yoneza Kenshi. Yes, dude. Oh my gosh. Don't get me started. He's making some good stuff. Also, Fujikaze is he's a big guy. He's like mainstream, but he's good. Have a good night. Thank you for the Q&A. Thank you, Jess, for tuning in, asking some good questions. Enjoy the rest of your night. And yeah, let me know how your Japanese learning journey goes. For anyone in this chat who's not in the Discord, you can find it in the description if you want to stay updated, make some friends in the Japanese learning community. Do you read any old manga that haven't been realized in English? What are some bangers? I don't know if I've read manga that hasn't been realized in English, but I've read Karada Sagashi, which is like a horror manga. It's a little gruesome. I wouldn't recommend it unless you're kind of into that sort of stuff. But yeah, I know. I'm sorry, Wayne. We've been streaming for how have I been streaming for? Oh, like 3 hours already? Oh my gosh. The VOD will be available. And I'll edit it down, and I'm gonna be doing more streams in the future. So, you know what, Wayne? Just for you, let me know when you're free, and I'll try to work my streams around that. Yeah. Hey, no way. There's so many listeners for Kinoko no Teinoku. That's crazy. Kirinji, dude. Oh my gosh. I totally forgot. Yeah, I have like 30 likes by Kirinji in my freaking Spotify. That is so great. You guys have great taste. I'm so glad you guys are in the community. Everyone here has some good music taste. Back on One Ok Rock, Alexandro's Uberworld. Nice. Oh my gosh. Dang. Didn't realize we had people with such good taste in here. Oh my gosh. Wow. I'm like shocked. I thought I was the only human on... I'm just kidding. I'm not the only human who listens to these people, but dang. Gotta go back to study now. Have a good one, Jared. Very mature of you, AJ. Go enjoy your study sesh. Thank you for tuning in. If you're supporting, appreciate it. Last question. How do I get subtitles for the lower rated animes on JPDB? I got you. I've got the hookup. Now you just hold on right there. I got you. You're gonna go to a website. Is this legal, what I'm about to show you? It's probably legal, right? Surely it's legal. Oh, I did not want that. Is this... Oh, there we go. Sorry, I'm trying to make sure I don't stretch my screen here. Guess I'll just do the left side of my screen. Okay, so... You're going to open up a lovely, lovely website called jimaku.cc. Hopefully it's still up. Yes, it is, because subtitles are not illegal to share. Thank you, Cooldown. Thank you, Cool. You read my mind. We're like on the same wavelength. I'll send a link. So yeah, let's just say that I wanted to watch Komi-san Can't Communicate. Goated anime, by the way. I would just type it in here. And we can see that they've got Komi-san wa Komisou desu Season 1 and 2. So I would click here. And I would just download it. Funny file extension. But yeah, after downloading it, I would recommend... I think you can drop it into VS... Oh, what's it called? Oh, VLC Media Player. But what I like to do... There's an add-on called ASB Player. I'm trying to see if I can just Google it without going into the thing. Yeah, here we go. Kitsuneko. Oh, nice. Jimaku's the go. Yes. So ASB Player is pretty cool because you can literally just... Well, what it lets you do is you can watch any video on the internet and drop those files that you download from here onto it. I'm not going to go to any totally legal Japanese streaming sites for anime, but yeah, you get the drift. You can kind of go anywhere and you can sync it up using ASB Player. When starting Anki, how long should it take to get the first few words? I feel like I have to hit again quite often. I would say... It's going to vary. It depends on the words. So, because, like, words that I have struggles with and I have to study, like, 5 or 7 times, and then I get it, and then I get it wrong again. My friends are like, oh, I remember those words stick so easily. So, it kind of depends. But I think on average, if you see the same word, like, 3 or 4 times, it should typically stick. I'm not really an expert on, like, the retention rates or whatever, but, yeah. If you're pairing... If you're starting off, you're pairing Anki with some language studies and maybe doing a little bit of reading from easy graded readers or textbooks while increasing your vocabulary. It should retain easier because you're using Japanese outside of Anki. But yeah, I hope that answers your question. I can get a bit more deeper on that if you'd like. Does it work on high anime cough cough? Yep. Yes, it does. If it has a video, it works. You just need to install this plugin here, or this add-on ASB player. But yeah, it works. Can confirm. All right, let's get back here. Let's get personal as we tie off the stream here. All right, chat. Can't believe I can say that. It feels so weird. All right. Anki leeches only getting longer. I would suspend your leeches if they keep popping up, because it's just taking focus away from your kind of your main study deck, in my opinion, like your main flashcards that you know really well. I like to suspend my leeches and then kind of look back at them a little later after immersing for a bit longer, because sometimes they'll just be words that I now know I don't even need a flashcard for, because I've seen it in so many contexts that it's just like, oh yeah, this one means global warming, or this one means to stall an engine, which, I mean, I don't know why you need to know that. It's Taiki, by the way, if you need to know that. It's like to stall and like wait outside in your car or something. But yeah, a lot of interesting words in Japanese. I don't know if you guys have any fun rare ones you know, but yeah. Oh my goodness. I just can't believe people can sit here and watch me for so long. Crazy. Alright, thanks for your help. Also, you might think that people might not find this entertaining, but I think so. Good night, y'all. Good night, Derek. Dude, you guys are reading my mind. Oh my gosh. You're like it's like those lines from JoJo. Your next line is, you guys just quote me. Yeah, good night, Derek. Thanks for tuning in. Well, I have to cook rice, make some soup dumplings, and pack my bags because I'm going to be traveling soon. But yeah, no video this week because I'm kind of, I want to do the stream to connect with you guys, and yeah, so I'll be doing a video next week where I just crop down this Q&A. Just passing by, but thank you for your daily JP words. No problem. Glad you find those helpful. I've been having a lot of fun making those, so thank you. Thank you, Amogus. Soul Taisei Lilo. Whoa. What does this mean? Butsuri gakusha Einstein ga tateta. Oh, this is a theory that Einstein did, huh? Look at you. I mean, I like it. I don't know it. I mean, I guess now I know it, but wow, I do like it. Thank you for sharing, Cooldown. Yeah. That's fun. End of an era. Yeah. Oh, it's a band? Oh, okay, then I'm not familiar with the band. I thought you were talking about Einstein's theory. Because it's what even, a theory of relativity. Okay, that's what it was. So I'm sure let me listen to them tonight, and then we'll see. I'm sure I would like them though. You seem to have pretty good taste. So, oh, that's tragic. I know. I'm sorry for the misinterpretation. Okay, I'm ending it. You guys get 30 seconds. 30 seconds. Any questions? And I know. I'm still live because you guys find this interesting enough to watch for 3 hours. I don't know how it happened. I mean, thank you. I am actually honestly so grateful so many of you tuned in. We have 24 people here right now. I'm trying to imagine 24 people in the room with me right now. That's insane. I expected, this is just crazy. Check out Vermont Kiss by them. Okay, I'll do that. Thank you, Cooldown. I'm noting that mentally. But yeah, it's just, the support's crazy. Thanks for getting us to hit 3.5k subscribers. It's only up from here. I'm glad we're building a nice, healthy community. And yeah, so seen Gunbuster. I have not. Noting this, I'm actually gonna look back at the chat and go through here and take notes on what you guys said this time around, so I can bring them up as talking points for our next meeting. But yeah, 3.5k, congrats, thank you. Yeah, will you add GLBT level in your shorts? Oh yes, I remember you commented about that, didn't you? Yes, I want to. It's just some of the words I teach are not included in the JLPT vocab list. There's not really even official ones, just general guides. But I'll try to kind of spitball and figure out kind of what area they would be considered part of. But yeah, I'll go ahead and do that. And yeah, but seriously, all the support's really great. It's really nice to have a lot of people to talk to about just Japanese language learning journeys. Once again, for the people here, if you do want to tune in, join in on the conversations going on in our community, you can join the Discord in the description. We're all there. You're very welcome to. language learners of all levels. Even if you haven't started studying Japanese but have questions before you get into it, please feel free to join in. But yeah, I'm gonna call the stream here because I've got to go cook, I've got to eat, and my camera it's not smoking, but I can imagine it's quite warm and sad. But yeah, everyone enjoy the rest of your days, nights, mornings, wherever you are, and keep me updated on your language learning journey, and expect some good videos over the next few weeks. I've got some fun stuff planned. Nothing this week, and I'm just going to be doing a shortened version of this stream next week, just so for people who've missed this stream or just want to go back and get those juicy questions out of the way. But yeah, have a great day, everyone. Hopefully I answered all your questions. If not, always join Discord and ping me. I will enjoy my trip. You guys enjoy the rest of your days, and yeah, have a great night. I'll see you later. Bye bye. This is where you exile the window. This is where you close the stream. There's 20 of ya. Come on. You got it. Later. Bye, Sam. Bye, Sam. Thanks for tuning in. Bye, Jazz. Have a good night. Goodbye. Bruce signing up for life. There's 19. Let's go. Mario Galaxy. Yes. I'm hoping I don't get copyright struck. Close it already. You're right. You're right. Bye. I need to find the close button. I'm like trying to stall here. Where'd it go? Hold on. Bye. Have a good night, everyone. Have a good night. Okay. I'm actually ending it now. Bye, guys. Have a good night. I'll see you next week or the week after. But yeah, take it easy. Bye. 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 Oh, your stream will stop immediately and you will no longer be live. I'm sorry, I just clicked the button. Yes, that's the point of ending a stream. Oh my goodness, YouTube. Okay. Bye, guys. Bye.